For all the latest news when it comes to Arizona men's basketball, along with all the play-by-play action, we are Wildcats Radio 1290. Remember, the one and only play-by-play home for Arizona athletics is 1290. So if you're listening to Arizona football, men's basketball, and baseball, you have it locked on 1290. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown and Tipoff Show on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
It is basketball night in Arizona. Number 12 Wildcats welcoming in my alma mater, the University of Southern California Trojans, for a Pac-12 basketball game. Wednesday night affair. We told you last week that it's kind of how it works in the Pac-12 this year. There's Wednesday games. There's Thursday games. This is one of the Wednesday games leading into what will be a Saturday game to round out this weekend for your Arizona Wildcats as they'll take on the UCLA Bruins on Saturday. That's going to be the big matchup that everybody's looking forward to, the final meeting between these two teams in Pac-12 conference play. Here in Tucson, they will meet later in the year for final regular season time over in Los Angeles. But one more chance to see the Bruins here, and it'll be the LA Schools versus the Arizonas on this Wednesday night in the Pac-12 as the Bruins will take on the Sun Devils up in Tempe. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show. I am David Kelly, joined as always by my guy. His name is Kelvin Ifan, and we've also got our other guy on the other side of the glass, J.W. Madden. We want to hear from you today, 520-848-1290. If you want to get in on the program, heading down to the game tonight at McHale Center to see the Wildcats take on USC. It has been quite the week on campus with the arrival of a new football coach today, introducing Brent Brennan to this fan base, and this basketball team coming off a second straight road performance that did not live up to expectation in Pullman against the Washington State Huskies Saturday. Let's take a listen back to that.
Here's Rice driving inside, shovel it to Clough, posted up on Ballo, turns in the lane with that left hand and scores it. 3 buckets now for Oscar Clough, the 6'11 junior out of Australia. Over to Yakimovsky, drives the right baseline, stolen away by Larson on a strip steal. Here's Pella driving coast to coast, lay it up and good for Pella Larson. Cats with the ball. Love, another deep 3 is up, and this one is good. Nothing but pure net.
Deep is right, about a 26-footer for Caleb Love. He knows Arizona on the road, he needs to be aggressive.
And the Cougars, they'll just keep it at a slower tempo. They're up by 5:15 to go first half. Here's Rice driving the lane, hook it out. Yakimovsky for 3. It's good.
Yeah, you can't give Yakimovsky that much room there. Arizona over-helping, unable to get to the shooter.
Waits for somebody to come up. Ball slapped into backcourt. Saved by Krivas. Feed it ahead to Love. 14 to shoot underneath. Nice lob play, and the lay-in's good by Jaden Bradley.
Yep.
So inbounds now to Boswell. 7 seconds. Boswell around to the right wing. Out top for Love. 3 seconds. Love down the lane. Up and under and scores it. And there's the end of the first half. Aware they've only got 3 to shoot here. Rice will inbound. Get it into Jones. Runs into Love. Turn around. Put it up. Roll it in. They'll count it. Beautiful move there by Isaac Jones. So Arizona down by 5, minute 38 to go. Love with the ball. He gave the Wildcats that lead. Looks for a 3 here. It's good. And timeout Arizona with a minute 33 to go.
There's that man, Caleb Love again.
15 to shoot. Rice works his way, bounce pass off to Wells, now inside to Jones. Quick turnaround shot, bounces, and goes. Another big bucket for Isaac Jones. Rice around a high screen. He'll pull up, jumping for two. It's good. Boy, that could be the killer right there.
Yeah, that was a big bucket there. Able to come off that middle pick and roll and find some space.
Inbounds will go to Boswell, back to Bradley. Now Bradley in a hurry, drives the other way. Hook it back out top for Keyshot. Fires a three out there, banked it home for three. And Wildcats back within one now, 15.2 to go.
But Arizona would lose by 3. Caleb Love had a final chance to knock down a 3-point shot to tie it, but it did not go. And as we talked about after that game Saturday, no surprise who the Pac-12 Player of the Week was going to be, and that came to fruition. Isaac Jones from Washington State, your Pac-12 Player of the Week, averaging 25 points and 12 rebounds in the 2 wins for the Cougars last week over this Arizona team, as well as the team that the Wildcats will play here tonight, Southern California. And Miles Rice was voted the Pac-12 Player, I should say freshman of the week last week for his performance against USC and Arizona. So it was a good weekend for the team from Pullman, Washington, the Washington State Cougars. After the game, Tommy Lloyd was asked if this loss compared to the one at Stanford.
Bruce, I'm not into comparing losses. Yeah. What I see is an average basketball team, okay, that has these really high moments, and then they relax. That's what I see. So we got to figure that out as a coaching staff. Whether that's, shaking up the lineup, these are all things I got to think about. Changing what we do, but everything's on the table.
Anything specific about the shooting? Just tonight, that's probably.
We missed a bunch of layups, and I told our guys, if you want to win games in the NCAA tournament, they don't call fouls in the charge circle. We're built to finish those shots. We didn't. Individual responsibility. You get it in there, you got to finish.
And that did not happen in this ball game. 11 of 31 layups and dunks for Arizona. That is 20 missed shots around the bucket, and that is just way too many.
Yeah, it is. But Washington State had a little bit to do with that, man. Them shot blockers was real, and I don't think our guys have seen many shot blockers like that. So I think, again, learned another lesson. It's a tough lesson because it's your 4th loss. It's a conference loss, but it's another lesson that you hope that as the season winds down, they start to learn how to play against guys that can block shots and change shots and finish those layups around the rim. It'd be different to me if it was a bunch of jump shots or 3-pointers, but they're layups. And as Coach said, you just got to finish them.
Yeah, you look at the 2 big guys, Umar Ballo, 4 for 11. Mo Krivas 1 for 4. I went back and I reviewed the tape a little bit, and Krivas, missing multiple shots on one possession, and same with Ballo a couple of times, missing, had a shot missed, got it back, had another shot missed. Those 2 guys combined to go 5 for 15, so they missed 10 shots between the 2 of them. You got to have more from this offense from that particular position, the center position. Tommy Lloyd afterward on missing 20 of 31 shots around the rim.
No, it's not a luck of the draw. That's something you have control on, and, we have control. The officials have control. All those things play together. But at the end of the day, you can't rely on officials. This is my experience. Plays around the rim are tough for them to call for whatever reason. And so some of them are missed, and some of them aren't missed. It's a thing. But so ultimately, I'm not making one thing about that game. We've just got to do a better job finishing. That's what it comes down to. And when we've played well, I know this. When we play well, we have no concern or issues with how the game is being refereed. So play well. That's the best thing that we can do. So of course, and finishing is something we take pride on, and we spend time working on it. We didn't finish that day. And, it's happened to us a couple other times this year. So, we got to keep the pedal to the metal.
Yeah, we saw a lot of crying, I think, in that game. A lot of guys were, like he said, looking at the officials, trying to see, where's my call?
Yeah, the palms to the sky.
Palms to the sky.
Palms to the sky. Like, with that hand and that shoulder shrug, man. If you be, right there that you're asking for something. And a lot of times with these refs, man, when you're begging, they ignore you. You have to play through that. I tell guys all the time, if you want fouls, make your layups. It's funny how when you make it, they love to call that and one because it's dramatic. It's like the charge call, the block call, and one. The ref love to call it, but if you miss it, he's like, hey, he got hit on the arm. Yep, they're getting hit on the arm on the other end as well. Things happen out there on the basketball court, and I'm glad this is happening. I'm sorry. I know people might say, well, you glad they lost? No, I'm not glad they lost. I'm glad that they're going through adversity. Adversity. Yes, you would love to win through that adversity, but sometimes you lose. You're playing people that are desperate to get wins, that are desperate. So you got to raise your level of intensity up because you're going against people that are hungry to try to get to this tournament.
And, Kelvin, you're just going to see a level of talent increase over time. So you're talking about desperation. This is the only ranked team in the conference. We've been over this over and over these last few weeks. Yeah. Every team's going to look at Arizona across the jersey. Every team's going to come at you like that, especially on their home court. And if you're missing 20 layups, Kelvin, against teams with NBA-level talent, you're going home. So you got to clean that up. You got to do whatever it takes, and adversity is what it's all about. The journey to get to March is about figuring out what you got to work on day in, day out, and it's just about staying focused. Get rid of the noise, unplug from your social media, stop listening to what your friends tell you how great you are, and just get back to work. Mic and drill, Kelvin, whatever it takes.
The mic and drill.
Yeah,
with the George mic and drill.
Get the bag, get the walk-ons, get the managers, and have them hang on you and don't call no fouls. I mean, you just have to get it done. And a lot of times when you're winning, DK and J-Dub, when you're winning, you just don't prioritize those things. You don't work on them as hard as you would. You're used to those things being so natural as far as dunk. Like when Johnson went to go dunk, right? He thought automatically, I'm Johnson. I jump higher than everybody. He did not expect that guy to meet him at the rim. I bet he will from now on. Yeah. I bet now because he's a guy with pride. We know that. He's a defensive player. So for him to get blocked like that was embarrassing for him. So I expect to see him jump because he jumped higher than that. He wasn't up that high, was he? He wasn't up that high like he was just going to do one of those, baby, like I'm just going to put it over the rim. No, you got to get up and you got to try to snatch that thing off the backboard.
And that was, I thought, was the difference. I mean, that was the way Washington State was playing in this game. When they went to dunk the basketball, they made sure they dunked it with authority in that ball game. When they went up to block the basketball, they were blocking with authority. They were exerting their physicalness in that ball game on Saturday.
And I'll say this, which coach could sell this? You guys are going to have to play physical. You're going to have to do whatever you have to do to win this game to have a chance. Washington State, our guys like, no, we just gonna win. We beat these type of teams. This is not a challenge. Whereas those guys came in with force. Those guys came in with an attitude of this is the way the game is gonna be played. We're gonna slow down the tempo. We're gonna be aggressive. We're gonna take the ball to the basket. They shot the least amount of threes that I think they shot all year. Because they felt that U of A didn't have shot blocking and they attacked it.
Absolutely, they did. Caleb Love on the 47 missed shots in this game for Arizona.
Obviously, we're a fast-paced team, and their game plan was to slow us down with that zone that they were playing, and it worked in our favor. It messed up our rhythm. We couldn't get the open looks and shots that we usually are able to make and take. So we obviously was missing a lot of bunnies at the rim and a lot of missed open shots and. That's just on us, but we got to figure out a way to win that game, and it just didn't happen today.
Yeah, when you say bunnies like that, I mean, can you attribute that to anything? Is that just luck? Was there some touch missing?
It's just focus. That's all it is. We work on finishing every day. Coach emphasizes it day in and day out, and we just got to be mentally tough. I think we was complaining to the refs a little bit too much, and going on the road is tough. The whistle might not go your way, so. We just got to fight through that, and especially on the road.
How about this? Everybody on that roster Saturday missed more shots than they made. Caleb, 15 misses to 10 makes. Pella, 6-4. Kylan, 5-0. Umar, 7-4. Keyshot, 5-3. Jaden, 3-2. KJ, 3-1. And Motius 3-1. Misses to makes. Everybody missed more shots than they made in that game on Saturday. Crazy stuff right there. Caleb Love, I mentioned, missed 15 shots, and he admitted that's way too many.
I just try to, play as hard as I can and do whatever the team needs. And, we was kind of slack in scoring. I mean, I was off too. I shot 10 for 25. That's, not good enough, especially the, leader that I am. I got to be more efficient, and obviously that's one key that why I came here, to be more efficient, and I got to be better than that. But, shots were going my way, towards the end of the game, but, it's not, like I said, it wasn't good enough.
I got a stat for you.
Okay.
I got a stat for you, J-Dub. You ready for me?
I'm ready.
1 foul for Caleb Love.
Mm-hmm.
1 foul for Keyshawn Johnson. I won't get on Crevis too much because he didn't play much. He only played 10 minutes, but 1 foul. And I just gave him love for fouling.
Right.
When I'm playing a team and you're playing that physical with me, you're trying to block every shot I take, whether you get a foul. Because usually when you go up with force to dunk that ball, you usually ref call foul.
Yeah.
When you go up hard and follow through that dunk, it's contact. The ref is going to call it. When you kind of put it right there, they Statue of Liberty. I call it the Statue of Liberty block, where you just put it right there and they just, cap it like a bottle, right? But I just feel like when I look at Caleb Love, my guy with just 1 foul, I can't do that. I can't lose with 1 foul.
Mm-hmm.
That means we're not being aggressive on Rice. I mean that I'm not roughing you up a little bit. Not football rough, but basketball rough, like what they were doing.
Yeah.
Like they were doing, especially in a game where you had to feel that the ref wasn't calling fouls. So if I'm getting fouled, knocked on the floor, and different things like that, J-Dub, I kind of play how the game is going. Ain't that what you're supposed to do? Yeah. So I just think that little thing right there, when I looked at that right there at 1 foul for my guy Keyshawn, after the guy blocked you like that, 1 foul for my boy Love, I'm like, Love, was you saving all the energy for offense? So that's the way my mind works. When I look at that, I'm like, man, we should have been up in those guys. And then the other thing here, I'm not telling coach how to coach, but with the pace being so slow, J-Dub, I seen coach do this. He full court press before. He threw little wrinkles of man-to-man full. I even seen him I think I may have seen some 1-3-1 or 2-2-1 press type of thing. A little bit, in some of the games where they were blowing guys, when they was blowing the teams out. But I just felt like, why not try to change that pace up a little bit? Maybe, again, your team, you're on the floor, you see what's going on. He probably thought, just make the dang layups, and it don't matter what we're doing. People won't be talking about what we're doing. But in that case right there, J-Dub, that would have been a good opportunity to try something?
You got to find a way, Kelvin. Yeah, it's like when you're missing 20 shots at the rim, it doesn't matter. Like that's just how games go sometimes. And I agree with you 100%. You got to change it up. You got to figure out a way to make them uncomfortable. So, yeah, I love a little bit of a wrinkle one way or another, but at least put some pressure on there and at least put some ball pressure on.
Jaden Bradley in the game played 26 minutes, was on the floor a little bit more down the stretch than we saw Kylan Boswell. Tommy Lloyd on that.
Jaden's been playing well, and he got us in a flow of the game. His plus minus has been great. Not that I use that as a major criteria all the time, but Kylan just didn't have that look tonight, and he's got to figure that out. Kylan's a heck of a player. I don't care how old he is. He's good enough to play well on the road, and he hasn't. So he needs to figure that out.
Well, this is another game, guys, where the plus minus was in favor of only 2 guys. Well, 3 guys, but Motius Krivas only played 10 minutes. Of the guys that played 20-plus, Jaden Bradley plus 12, KJ Lewis plus 11. Those are your 2 defensive stoppers.
3 fouls each.
It's been clear. It's been clear all season that those have been your 2 defensive stoppers when you need to get things done at that end of the floor.
Yeah, those are guys that are coming in, playing aggressive, scratching, clawing, diving for loose balls, taking charges, blocking shots, doing all the little dirty work that you need to be successful, and their minutes are going to go up. Their minutes went up a little bit in this game, and they're going to continue to go up if the defense don't pick up. I still feel like Arizona played good enough defense to win this game, 73 points. They usually average around 89, 90 points. So at the end of the day, those bunnies around the buckets, cost you that dub. But I still feel like a little better defense you could have played because you just needed one or two more stops to be able to win this game 70-69. Because I don't care how much you win by. That's not my concern.
Yeah, 1 point.
Yeah, that ain't my concern. I just want to win.
All right, this is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show. Let's tell you what we've got coming up for you over the course of the next 3 hours.
Let's take a look at the Right Way Rundown and see what's coming up on our pregame show. Brought to you by Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Do things the right way.
All right, we've got coming up our first look at the USC Trojans, who come in here a battered bunch. Also, we will hear from the new football coach of the Arizona Wildcats, Brent Brennan. We'll hear his opening statement from his press conference today. Keyshawn Johnson is your spotlight on a Cat. Best bets today. U of A comes into this as a 19-point favorite at home, where they have been really good this season. Tuck Me Win from the Los Angeles Times will join us with our scouting report on the USC Trojans. Coming off a loss in Washington, the Wildcats won that Tommy Lloyd took full responsibility for.
I'm the coach. I'm responsible. So I got to help these guys. Me and my staff got to get together. We got to play better on the road. And Washington State gets a ton of credit. I mean, they beat us straight up today.
This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management pregame show is brought to you by Advanced Auto Care, Crest Insurance Group, Desert Diamond Casinos, First Chiropractic, Frog & Firkin, Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, the Polston Results Team with Keller Williams, Southern Arizona, Royal GMC, Buick and Cadillac, Royal Kia, Royal Jaguar Land Rover, the Window Depot.
As Arizona's leading personal injury law firm for more than 30 years, Goldberg & Osborne agrees, bear down, Arizona. With offices statewide, including 5 in Tucson and Southern Arizona, the Eagle gives you home field advantage. More than 1,800 5-star Google reviews prove Goldberg & Osborne has the playbook for any situation. So after any accident, let the attorneys voted best personal injury law firm tackle that insurance company and get you the settlement you deserve. Goldberg & Osborne, 1-800-THE-EAGLE.
Frog & Firkin, a standout among the bars and restaurants in the University area. Frog & Firkin does what very few pubs can, combine a festive atmosphere and great beer with a menu that could stand on its own in any restaurant setting. A sports enthusiast dream with over 30 TVs, 30 beers on tap, and over 100 import and domestic bottles. Daily drink and food specials, and the kitchen is serving until 10. A standout in the University area. Frog & Firkin. Eat local, support local. frogandfirkin.com.
Hi, it's Floyd, the family man with the family plan. Outdated HVAC systems will drive up your electric bill, drain your wallet, and peace of mind. Save now at Goodfellas with no payments or interest till 2024. Get a 30% federal tax credit, up to $2,000 off qualifying heat pumps. Trust Goodfellas. We're locally owned with thousands of 5-star reviews. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. Visit us at goodfellasac.com to schedule a no-cost estimate.
At Nova Home Loans, we believe everyone deserves the opportunity to enjoy the independence that comes with home ownership. Whether you're a first-time home buyer who needs down payment assistance, have less than perfect credit, or looking to refinance, Nova has a variety of home loan programs for your unique situation. Visit novahomeloans.com or call 800-955-9125 to learn more. Not a commitment to lend or extend credit. Rates and available loan programs are subject to change without notice. NMLS 3087, BK 0902429, Equal Housing Opportunity.
True Wildcat fans know that when you're looking for the best place to watch all the big games on big screens, drinking cold beer and having the best food, all paths lead to Desert Diamond. Bet on your Wildcats and all your favorite teams 24/7 on our easy-to-use kiosks. Come chill on our comfy couches and build your best bet at Arizona's best bet, the Desert Diamond Sportsbook and Bar.
An enterprise of the Thana Autumn Nation.
Problem gambling? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Desert Diamond Casino is licensed in Arizona.
Here's an important message from University Termite and Pest Control. The weather is getting cooler here, and so rodents will be seeking alternative housing. Do you need a professional? Call University Termite and Pest Control, 886-4146. They've been serving Tucson since 1974. You can be assured University Termite and Pest Control will keep you pest-free using the most responsible products and application methods. 28 school districts, 3 hospitals, 2 colleges, 1 university, and thousands of homeowners trust University Termite and Pest Control. You can too. Call University Termite and Pest Control today at 886-4146 or go to bepestfree.com.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
With the new year, we usually make resolutions to be healthier. Water quality in your home can help you achieve healthy living goals. I'm Ron Arenas with Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing. We offer solutions to filter the water in your house that you drink, shower, and cook with every day. For clean and healthy water, call 520-440-4069.
Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Savings and Selection 100 is going on right now at O'Reilly Chevrolet because we have selection, we have savings, and we have over 100 trucks, including Chevy Silverados, the #1 selling full-size pickup in Arizona. See them all at O'Reilly.com. Call 747-8000 or test drive one today on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Find new roads during Savings and Selection 100 at O'Reilly Chevrolet. More than a great price.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
See dealer for details.
The Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show continues on the home of Arizona men's basketball, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Every Pac-12 game is hard, man.
It is, Umar. It is. Every Pac-12 game is hard for sure. It is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show. I am David Kelly, joined as always by Kelvin Ifan, as well as J.W. Madden, getting you set for the Arizona Wildcats and the Southern California Trojans. A little bit of a later tip. We're getting into those late tip nights here in Tucson. 8 o'clock tip-off tonight. We'll take you right up to 7 o'clock with the network. Brian Jeffries and Ryan Hansen will be on the call tonight from courtside at McHale Center as the Wildcats will welcome in a Trojan team that is 8-9 on the season overall, 2-4 in Pac-12 play. They are facing a lot of injuries as they come in here to Tucson. Most specifically, Isaiah Collier is out with a wrist injury. He will not play for this team probably for the next at least another probably 4 to 5 weeks. So that is a huge, huge loss for USC coming in here this week. And you heard in that first segment that Tommy Lloyd alluded to the fact that there might be some lineup changes coming into this weekend against the Los Angeles Schools. That, of course, he said was after the game on Saturday. He was asked about that again this week when he spoke to the media.
2 things. For one, I haven't made any final decisions, and 2, I wouldn't tell you. You know, we're going to figure that. We'll figure it out tomorrow. I mean, like everything we're going to do. So, you know, I mean, but no drastic changes need to be made. We just need to play a little bit better. I mean, that's, you know, that's it.
And I guess the question that I would ask, Kelvin, is, I mean, the big looming potential change I think most people are looking at is the potential that you sit Kylan Boswell at the point guard and maybe elevate somebody like Jaden Bradley. If you did that right now, though, what type of effect does that have on this team? If the trust that you put into this kid from the get-go, and we've seen Tommy doesn't necessarily like to make those types of moves. He did in the situation, I believe, last year with Pella Larson. But again, Pella, a little bit older guy who could handle that probably. If you do that to Kylan right now, what does that do to his confidence?
Man. Yeah. I don't think it would be good because when I'm watching these games right now, he look a little shook already. So if that was to happen to him at this point right here, I don't know how he would take to that. I know he came back here feeling like he was the top player here. You got to remember, he didn't know Caleb Love was coming. Caleb Love was originally going to Michigan, right? So he really thought that he would be running this team. This is his team. That's the way we came into this year, basically, that this is Boswell's team. I remember people talking about it's not Love's team. Love just got here, which I totally understand that. Boswell, even though Boswell basically only started maybe 8 games.
Actually, I don't think he started any games last year. No, he just started all last year.
Because Coach usually stays with his guys, right? So yeah, man, I don't know about that right now. I'm sure Coach, again, I always say this. I'm sure Coach has a better understanding of this from being at practice every day, what he can and can't handle, and ultimately he has to do what's best for the team. But I've seen him come back. I've seen him have a game or two where he came back and knocked down the threes and made shots, and so I would like to see how that all works out. I mean, I haven't seen Coach. I didn't see him take Kerr out, right? Am I right about that?
Not really.
Lisa?
No.
I didn't see him do it. I mean, because I think it would have bothered his confidence. So I don't really see that happening right now. Only adjustment I've seen him make in those years was Terry for Pella Larson, and only because, as you said, Pella could handle it.
Yeah.
Pella's a veteran, more mature guy. I didn't think it bothered him at all, and he actually had previous showed that he played pretty good off the bench. In some of the games in the previous year. So. Yeah, man, I don't know. I would be surprised if he made that decision anytime soon.
So let me then frame it this way. You don't take Kylan Boswell out of the lineup, but you continue to start him, but maybe when you bring in Jaden Bradley, he plays for a little bit longer than he normally would. Now, from Kylan Boswell's perspective, he's expecting, okay, when I come out, I usually go back in here. Well, maybe I'm not going back in for another 2 minutes later now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Does that affect him if he sees maybe that he's not going back into a game when he usually goes back into a game?
I would say not as much as switching up him being a starter. Because you're not playing well. And as a player at his caliber, at some point there's going to be some repercussions for not playing that well, right? So I believe that you start him to see if he's playing well. Right, and let me say this too, and I know J-Dub agree with me. Am I more worried about who started or who finished?
Yeah.
Right.
Am I more worried about who started the game or who finished if I'm a coach? Or do I want to mess up chemistry, right? Because the first thing, when you stop starting the guy, the next guy has to worry. The next guy has to worry. You want all these guys worrying? That ain't quite what you want in this point, because there's a certain amount of responsibility as a coach you take on too. Or you're going to not start yourself? So... You know what I mean? So, and I think you hear that in coach. He's like, hey, we got some stuff we need to do. We're working on it. We're coaching. You hear him saying those things. So I just think that, what you end up doing is you show at the end of the game who really are your guys to finish. So, you lessen those minutes. You take a little minute. You take them out a little earlier in the first half if things are not playing well. You put them back in to see how that's going. But then in that second half, you know what that is, DK? That's winning time, baby. Yeah. And if you're not playing well, I'm going with who is.
And just to be clear, guys, we talk about Kerr. Kerr would go 1 for 10.
Yeah.
Right? We're not talking about not shooting well. We're not talking about shooting poorly from the field. We're talking about getting on the floor for loose balls. We're talking about getting that defensive stance and D'ing up against your man, Kelvin. Right. So, looking at Kylan Boswell's minutes, he only had 1 turnover, right? So it's not like he's throwing the ball all over the court. It's not like he's playing real sloppy, messy. It's about staying in the game. Talk about 20 missed bunnies at the rim. Focus. This whole terminology about playing poorly, playing bad, playing with purpose, playing focus, playing with energy. Those are all these things. He's talking about standard. Coach is talking about standards. He's talking about that since in game 1 this year and ever since he got on campus. Live up to that standard. And if you aren't living up to that standard, somebody else will. And that's what we're talking about Jaden Bradley coming in. If there is a player, Kelvin, if that guy's not stepping up, egos aside, if you aren't in the game mentally, physically, and you're not there to go out there and win that game for Arizona, somebody else can. And that's what this is all about. So you shouldn't take that personally. Look in the mirror. And if you want to get out there and hustle, and get out there and get after your man defensively, find guys for open looks, whatever it takes to get that W, that's winning basketball, and that's all they're expecting from Kylan Boswell.
And I'll add to that, J-Dub, that's how he got on the court.
Exactly.
That's exactly how he got on the court. Being a defender, being pesky, have full court, pressing guys up to the half court. You need to see a little bit more of that. I'm glad we took out a little of the snaking. Right? I'm glad we took that out. But I want to see that guy that got his name up there on the NBA charts because of his effort.
Right. And I will say that going back and watching the tape, I thought his intensity on defense was there, especially at the end of the game. Now, he did make a mistake, I thought, where he sagged a little bit too low on that last three that Miles Sims hit in the ball game, and he went too far back and didn't get out enough to be able to get a quality hand in his face to hit that three-point shot. But other than that, I thought his effort there on defense was still at a high level in the second half of that game, even though he was not performing well at the offensive end of the floor.
Yeah, and it's just tough to see when Rice is playing so well.
Mm-hmm.
And that would make you think, why would you back up right here?
Exactly.
When he's playing so well.
Right.
Why we give him the opportunity? But, again, I just think, though, those are the decisions that coach has to make. He's there with those guys every day. I have confidence still in him. I don't lose confidence that fast in you, but I will take some minutes from you. You know what I mean? So I do agree you keep starting him right now because, again, he can't kill you starting the game, and you still have to have some type of chemistry. We've talked about that this year. With 4 new starters, DK, when are you going to get chemistry if you just continuously change the lineup because you get some bumps in the road?
Yeah, and I said Miles Sims. I meant Miles Rice there for Washington State. Let's take a look at our first chance to find out a little bit about the USC Trojans.
Our first look at today's Arizona men's basketball game is brought to you by The Window Depot. Lowest prices and biggest inventory. Shop thewindow.depot.com.
All right, we mentioned that USC comes in here with some injuries. They are going to be without Isaiah Collier with a wrist injury, their second leading scorer. Injuries as well to Boogie Ellis, who's been dealing with a hamstring. Joshua Morgan is also hurt. He's their 4th leading scorer, and their big man, Tommy Lloyd, is that behind why they're not playing all that well right now?
Well, that's not my job to say why. I have no idea. I just know this. Andy's a good coach. He's had a lot of success there. I don't know what's going on in their program on a day-to-day basis. I don't know what's going on injury-wise. So, I mean, all I know is I watched them play a first half at Stanford and a first half at Colorado, and they look really good and they look talented. So, that's the team that we're preparing to play. But speculating any further than that, that's not my territory to do.
They won that game against Stanford that knocked off Stanford's win streak. That was a home game. That was the game Collier injured his wrist. Since that time, though, they lost at home to Washington State last week and then went on the road and got beat by 10 at Colorado. Tommy Lloyd asked this week if, in terms of those injuries, and you look at the fact that Kobe Johnson now is going to have to be a guy that steps up for them. He's their 3rd leading scorer and a guy that is definitely up to that task.
He's talented. He's talented. He's definitely, he was somebody last year that kind of, I think, stuck out to everybody. You saw some ability there, and he had some, impactful games. Right now, he's definitely being more assertive, and he's being more aggressive. Looking for his own offense, and he's got good DNA. He's got good genetics, and he looks like he's got a lot of confidence. So he's definitely, kind of risen his level of his game.
When you look at those first halves that you watched of USC, what stands out about how they play in terms of what makes them successful on the court?
Well, they're aggressive. They move the ball. They have good length, throughout the floor. So they have good high level rim protection, and they do a good job contesting shots. And then offensively, they had some shot makers. They have some guys, that can kind of create their own shot, or if they get you chasing, they can make an extra pass or two, and they can bang in threes. To me, they just look talented. And if you make a mistake on your ball screen coverage and they get downhill, they can play over the top of you, and those bigs can catch lobs.
What do you expect Morgan and Ellis to play? Have you guys heard anything?
Yeah, for sure. I expect them to play. We've prepped like they're going to play, and for them, I hope they play, because you don't like to see kids injured, and I don't know. I don't have any further information than that.
Man, if Boogie Ellis doesn't play, 19 points a game, and Josh Morgan, who's your only really inside guy and one of your better defenders on the interior, doesn't play, man, USC's in trouble tonight.
Yeah, they in trouble. But I'll say this though, they played Colorado tough, and they lost that game by 10 with Bronny James missing 7 shots, Harrison Horney missing 5 shots, all their shots. They didn't make a shot, so some other teams are going through that as well. Guys missing shots, and not really nobody really stepping up except for Sellers. So this is one of them games where it always worried me a little bit because I know these guys are going to play way better than they played against anybody else. So I'm like, Coach, man, I'm expecting Boogie Ellis. I'm expecting Collar. I'm expecting all these guys at their best. That way your guys don't let down their guard.
All right. Are people coming to see Bronny James tonight?
Yes.
Did you get tickets for your son?
Hey, that $279 was too much. That $279.
Oh, man. That was the price tip? $279
for the
to get in?
The middle row was $279.
Wow.
And the other ones, it was some at the top for like $50. I was like, he said no to that one. But
he didn't want to be up that high.
Yeah, nah, he didn't want that one. But that $279 was too steep.
Oh, man, that is something. Bronny James coming to town tonight. Real quick, just to let you know, he's played now in 9 games since coming back to USC. He's averaging 5 points and 2 rebounds.
Yeah, historic, though, like last trip. So, I mean, talking about those prices,
right.
It's not just Bronny James. It's the last time the Trojans are coming in, last time Bruins are coming in. So
I wonder what the UCLA – I didn't even look at that.
Crazy.
Because if it's $279 –
We'll have to see what those are, what they're going for right now on StubHub or some of the other sites out there. Yeah, but this is an all NBA roster, all NBA name roster anyway. You got a James, you got a Rodman, you got a Kobe on there, and Kobe Johnson his brother actually plays in the league. Mm-hmm. Jalen with the Atlanta Hawks, and you got a Boogie. So you got some names on this roster coming in here with the Trojans tonight. All right, let's that's going to be our first look at the USC Trojans.
That's been our first look at today's Arizona men's basketball game. Brought to you by The Window Depot. Lowest prices and biggest inventory. Shop thewindowdepot.com.
And don't forget, Window Depot also sponsors Arizona's top rebounding performance every night. It's the Window Depot glass cleaner of the game. Might be the Wildcat with the most rebounds. Might be the U of A star with the most impactful boards. We will tell you the Window Depot glass cleaner of the game tonight on the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show. More straight ahead. I got Kelvin and J-Dub with me. I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tipoff Show on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rock & K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills. Enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. Explore natural open space, a network of connecting trails, and a community park within the Vail School District. Visit Lennar's 2 communities in Rock & K with home savings up to $35,000 and limited time interest rate and closing cost incentives on select move-in ready homes. Live RockandK.com. Designed by Nature, proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
The Window Depot is proud to sponsor the first look at today's game and would like to invite Arizona Wildcat fans to visit one of their Tucson warehouses. The Window Depot provides over 1,000 in-stock vinyl windows, interior and exterior doors, plus granite and quartz countertops, and a huge selection of custom cabinetry, all at the lowest prices in town. Consider the Window Depot your MVP when it comes to your home improvement needs. Stores are open Monday through Saturday, or order online at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
Hi, this is Natalie Fernandez of Meridian Wealth Management, and I'd like to invite you to our complimentary retirement income workshop held every Friday at 10 a.m. in our offices at the Williams Center. We discuss the key risks in retirement, how retirement has changed, and how to best plan for success. A recent study showed 60% of retirees would go back and plan differently if they could. We want to help you avoid the would've, could've, should've. Call our office at 719-1433 to reserve your seat today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Tired of dry, itchy skin? Have mineral buildup at every faucet. Ram Plumbing's affordable, green, eco-friendly water softener and alkalized purification systems are built right here in our great state of Arizona and use a fraction of the wastewater as their competitors. Want soft water, non-chlorinated, or the best alkalized drinking water? You can trust Ram Plumbing to be your one-stop shop. Ask about their Water Taste Challenge. 40th year anniversary savings, up to $500 off water systems and $40 off any service. If your plumbing's in trouble, call Ram on the double.
If you're a do-it-yourselfer looking for quality car parts in Tucson, look no further. Advance Auto Parts has 6 Tucson locations with over 75 years in business. Advance Auto Parts is the largest car parts retailer in the U.S., and customers know they can trust their products, like Die-Hard batteries. Now with free installation, only found at Advance Auto Parts stores. Take advantage of our same-day delivery and pickup. Just visit our website at stores.advanceautoparts.com and make sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Advance Auto Parts for all your car repair needs. Now a proud radio sponsor of the University of Arizona Wildcats.
Do you often worry you left the garage door open? With a LiftMaster garage door opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out.
Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates is your authorized local LiftMaster dealer. Visit KaiserDoor.com for more information.
As Arizona's leading personal injury law firm for more than 30 years, Goldberg & Osborne agrees, bear down, Arizona. With offices statewide, including 5 in Tucson and Southern Arizona, the Eagle gives you home field advantage. More than 1,800 5-star Google reviews prove Goldberg & Osborne has the playbook for any situation. So after any accident, let the attorneys voted best personal injury law firm tackle that insurance company and get you the settlement you deserve. Goldberg & Osborne, 1-800-THE-EAGLE.
Coach Tommy Lloyd here. Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing is the ultimate team when it comes to your home's comfort.
Thinking about replacing your heating and air system? It's free furnace season at Right Way.
These are some of the slowest months of the year. We have equipment in stock and our crews are available.
And to spark business, we're including an 80% furnace absolutely free with the purchase of an air conditioning system.
And if that's not enough, we'll include a Wi-Fi thermostat, 10-year parts and labor warranty, plus we have 0 interest financing available.
Call or text 520-200-2422 today or visit rightwayac.com.
Broadway in Tucson presents the Rockin' 2023-2024 season featuring 8 blockbuster productions including Disney's Aladdin, The Book of Mormon, Hairspray, and Chicago. Enjoy the Southern Arizona musical premieres of Tina, the Tina Turner musical, Ain't Too Proud, The Life and Time of the Temptations, MJ the Musical, and Mrs. Doubtfire. Secure your choice season tickets today and get the ultimate in flexibility and the lowest prices all season. Visit BroadwayInTucson.com and secure your season tickets today.
The Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show continues on the home of Arizona men's basketball, Wildcats Radio 1290. It's time now to take you down the front row of the arena. A view from courtside is brought to you by Kaiser Garage Door and Gates. Kaiser, celebrating 25 years serving Southern Arizona.
All right, it's the Wildcats and the USC Trojans tonight here at McHale Center. Let's hear a little bit from Andy Enfield. We were mentioning Kobe Johnson in the last segment there. He is right now, if no one else plays, he could be the number 3, or actually he's the 3rd leading scorer on the team, so he could be the leading scorer on the floor tonight if there's no Boogie Ellis, and we know for a fact there's going to be no Isaiah Collier. Isaiah Collier averaging 15 points on the game. Kobe Johnson averages 12 points for the USC Trojans, but it's really his defense that's been his calling card since he got into college basketball. Andy Enfield raving about the defense that Kobe Johnson plays.
Well, Kobe, to me, is the best defensive player in our league and possibly the United States. He's 6'6". He anticipates tremendously. Evan Mobley and DeAnthony Melton, who are both in the NBA right now, were our 2 best defenders, and Jordan McLaughlin was pretty good too, and he's in the league. So, but Kobe has that unusual ability to anticipate. He can gamble, but still be in position to recover at the same time. He gets a lot of deflections, a lot of steals, and he can guard big or small. So it's fun to watch him, and our players know that when he's guarding them in practice, it might be a long day.
And you got
Kobe Johnson there. And it sounds like, and we've seen, obviously, from what Andy Enfield said there, he's developing NBA defensive players is kind of been one of his calling cards since he got to USC.
Well, if you want to make the NBA and you're not the go-to guy, the franchise guy, the only way you're making it and getting on the court is playing defense. So he's got something there. And so, I've watched Johnson. Like he said, he can defend multiple positions, anticipates, very physical, and going to come at you. So, you can't underestimate these guys at all when you have guys like that on the team leading.
And it's something you said a couple of weeks ago, Kelvin, about Bronny James and his potential as a guy that can defend and how that might play for him potentially at the next level, because we had that conversation off the mic, and after I'd said on the mic, I don't necessarily see him as a guy who doesn't appear to me as a guy that can play at the next level, but it might be his defense that is one of those trademarks that gets him there.
If you're 0 for 16, you better play some defense.
Right. He struggled at the offensive end, that's for sure.
Yeah, and that's, coming off of being out for I don't know how long. And so that's going to happen. But again, Bronny James, he brings all the intangibles. I mean, there's not going to be really any big moments that he hadn't been around or didn't know. We give a lot of credit to a lot of the coaches' sons that end up coaches for being around their dads, and all of a sudden they're the NFL coach or NBA coach. And I think that's the same type of thing what you're talking about with Bronny. I mean, he defends at every level. He's played with nothing but great players in high school on his AAU team. His dad never made the team be about him, which I think in turn is going to make him have the opportunity to play in the pros, because he's going to understand how to defer. He's going to understand that there's a go-to player that you have to run the offense through. He understands how to move the ball. So watch him play. You'll see all the little intangible that he brings to the game, the understanding of how to play with other good players.
And this is not in a vacuum, right? I mean, he's coming off cardiac issues, right? So, I mean, like, the young man, how much pressure, Kelvin, talking about how his dad's not going to retire till he plays with him in the NBA and all these things, like with the heart stuff going on. I mean, I just can't imagine. I just wish you could let kids be kids. You know what I mean? And I just think, he's got the potential to grow into himself. Mm-hmm. And right now, you're right. I mean, right now, as far as what shines off the page, is not a guy who's ready for that next level, anywhere close to ready for that next level. But as far as a guy who's athletic, and has a motor, can get after it, clearly he's got all those things going for him. Could be a very good college player right now. I just think people need to put the brakes on, stop talking about how, what his draft positions are, Kelvin, and just let him be a college athlete, especially coming off of that health issue, because that's some scary stuff.
Well, in terms of Kobe Johnson, we mentioned how good a defensive player he is, but don't sleep on his offensive game either. In their win over Stanford, which you heard Coach Lloyd talking about, he watched the first half of that game. Kobe Johnson scored 21 points, had 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 steals, and no turnovers. He's the first player in the Pac-12 since 2020 to record a stat line like that. 20 points, 5 or more rebounds, assists, and steals with no turnovers. And he's just the third player in the Pac-12 to do that since the 1996-1997 season. So Kobe Johnson, a player that can definitely do a number of things for the USC Trojans here tonight. And that is your view from courtside.
We hope you enjoyed your view from courtside. It was brought to you by Kaiser Garage Door and Gates. Kaiser, celebrating 25 years serving Southern Arizona.
It is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off show. We are also brought to you by Dave and Buster's, the best place to eat, drink, and play while watching tonight's game between the Wildcats and the Trojans. It will be on the ESPN, I do believe, tonight. Now, the Wildcats got stuck in Wazoo because of the weather. They could not get out after their game on Saturday. They had to stay and come back on Sunday. Tommy Lloyd on how he spent his downtime in Wazoo.
Probably licked my wounds, and just try to figure out coaching. Like, the one thing I've learned about being a head coach, a day after that, no one wants to be around you. Just kind of, I'm joking, of course. Obviously, to spend some time with the staff. We had some boosters there, hung out with them, and, just kind of, try to put the pieces back together.
So they do take boosters on trips to Pullman, Washington. I wasn't sure if that would be a trip you'd want to take your boosters on, but clearly they did take some on that trip. Tommy, on kind of getting stranded there and what that was like.
It's our responsibility to make it a good thing. I mean, ultimately, it is. It is what it is. I mean, we can't control, the mechanics of airplanes. We can't. And we can't control cold weather. And both of those things happened. And, the one thing we could have controlled better was our effort on the court. And, so that's where I'm putting my focus. We all got an extra 24 hours in the Courtyard Marriott in Pullman, and we enjoyed our time together.
And that was kind of Sunday when everything was transpiring with the football program. Dave Hickey was up there with the team in Wazoo, and he mentioned that today. It was actually not a bad thing at all. To kind of allowed him to do some business and begin to turn the wheels of trying to find his next head football coach, and he landed on Brent Brennan to take over the Wildcats football program. We had a chance to see him and hear from him today, and you will have a chance to hear from him as well coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. We also want to hear from you. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Our guy is listening once again tonight, and that is Fred out of New Jersey, whose mom, Jean, is in hospice. And Fred chimes in on the text groove. If you can mention my mom, Jean, I'll be on planes back to New Jersey, so he will not hear the pregame. My sister, he says, arrives Thursday, and we'll watch the game Saturday with Mom if she is still with us. I hope to arrive home in time to see most of the second half and hear your postgame till 2:30 a.m. in New Jersey. That's about what time we will be on till in New Jersey. And since I won't hear the pregame, it would be great if you could drop me a text. If you do mention Gene, of course we will mention Gene as well. Good luck to the Wildcats. Good luck, Gene Smith. Stay strong as you continue your battle, and glad that her daughter is with her tonight, listening to the show and watching the game. Hopefully another big win for the Wildcats at home over the Trojans. And Fred always says thank you and bear down. All right, we will take a break here. We'll come back with the second hour of our pregame show tonight. Arizona, number 12 now in the country, as the Wildcats drop out of the top 10 after upset week, of which they fell privy to one of those. And they'll welcome in the unranked USC Trojans tonight for a game that tips at 8 o'clock. It's the Meridian Wealth Management pregame show with Kelvin Efont and J.W. Madden. I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management pregame show is brought to you by Advanced Auto Care, Crest Insurance Group, Desert Diamond Casinos, First Chiropractic, Frog Inn Firkin, Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing, the Polston Results Team with Keller Williams, Southern Arizona, Royal GMC Buick and Cadillac, Royal Kia, Royal Jaguar Land Rover, the Window Depot.
Caruso's, a Tucson tradition since 1938, located on historic 4th Avenue. For 4 generations, Caruso's handmade sauce has been prepared with love by a family member, using only the best ingredients. Enjoy specialty Italian dishes like lasagna al forno, chicken tetrazzini, real Italian sausages, spectacular pizza, as well as many vegetarian options. Caruso's offers outdoor dining on their garden patio, with indoor dining also available. Open Tuesday through Sunday, with all your favorites available for takeout. For more information, call 520-624-5765 or visit their website at carusositalian.com.
Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Always trust the big guy. Mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair at coolwillies.com. Cool Willie's is proud to be a partner of the University of Arizona Wildcats basketball radio broadcast. 2 powerful teams working hard for you to get the job done right every day. Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Big enough to help, small enough to care. Remember to mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair. coolwillies.com.
The new Blue Whale Car Wash, formerly Octopus Car Wash, is now open. They're locally owned and operated and offer many ways for you to save. Start now by downloading the Blue Whale Car Wash app. Then visit their website at bluewhalecarwashaz.com to find a location near you. Don't forget to follow them on Instagram and Facebook for even more savings. And for a limited time, their exterior-only wash is $5 at all 4 locations. Blue Whale Car Wash, proud radio sponsor of the University of Arizona Wildcats.
Do you often worry you left the garage door open? With a LiftMaster garage door opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out.
Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates is your authorized local LiftMaster dealer. Visit KaiserDoor.com for more information.
Are you ready to adopt? Come to the Humane Society of Southern Arizona. When you adopt from us, you will save more than one life. You'll also make room for the next pet in need. The Humane Society of Southern Arizona has been compassionately serving pets and the people who love them since 1944. Our knowledgeable adoption matchmakers will help you find the right pet for your home and support you after you adopt. We are open 7 days a week at our main campus at 635 West Roger Road. Learn more and see adoptable pets at hssaz.org.
Coach Tommy Lloyd here. Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing is the ultimate team when it comes to your home's comfort.
Thinking about replacing your heating and air system? It's free furnace season at Right Way.
These are some of the slowest months of the year. We have equipment in stock and our crews are available.
And to spark business, we're including an 80% furnace absolutely free with the purchase of an air conditioning system.
And if that's not enough, we'll include a Wi-Fi thermostat, 10-year parts and labor warranty, plus we have zero interest financing available.
Call or text 520-200-2422 today or visit rightwayac.com.
Hi, this is Natalie Fernandez-Lee, President of Meridian Wealth Management. As a fiduciary investment firm, our clients have trusted us to guide them down their financial paths for decades. Whether you are an individual or family, business, foundation, or nonprofit, we are committed to your long-term goals and financial futures. We are proud supporters of the Tucson community and all that makes our city so special. Visit online at meridianwealthllc.com to learn more about Meridian.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
The Window Depot is proud to sponsor the first look at today's game and would like to invite Arizona Wildcat fans to visit one of their Tucson warehouses. The Window Depot provides over 1,000 in-stock vinyl windows, interior and exterior doors, plus granite and quartz countertops, and a huge selection of custom cabinetry, all at the lowest prices in town. Consider the Window Depot your MVP when it comes to your home improvement needs. Stores are open Monday through Saturday, or order online at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
Experiencing the Sonoran Desert's natural wonders comes easy at Rock & Kay. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. 6 model homes are now open to tour at Del Webb at Rock & Kay. Here, life is about more than just beautiful homes. It's about the experiences waiting outside your front door at this new 55-plus active adult neighborhood. LiveRockandK.com. Designed by nature, built for you. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We have the Arizona Wildcats covered on game day like no one else. We are Wildcats Radio 1290. The Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show continues on the home of Arizona men's basketball, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Second hour of the show, getting you set for Arizona and Southern California tonight at McHale Center. Tip-off coming up at 8 o'clock. You'll hear it right here on Wildcats Radio 1290. We've got a new football coach. Brent Brennan arrived on campus and was introduced today, and Tommy Lloyd yesterday wished him well in his new endeavor.
First off, want to welcome a new coach. I've heard nothing but great things, and, I'm sure I'll either get to meet him today or tomorrow. I heard he's a great guy and will be a great fit here. That being said, I'm happy for Jed. I think Jed, made the decision he felt like he needed to make for him and his family, and he has the freedom to do that. And he and I were good friends, and we shared a lot of time together on the pickleball court, and our wives became good friends. So we're sad to see him go, but we're happy for them, and we're looking forward to the next chapter. And that being said, we love living in Tucson, so, anything University of Arizona, we're going to fully support.
Tommy Lloyd has lost his pickleball buddy in Jed Fish. He, in fact, asked the media to get him a scouting report on the pickleball game for Brent Brennan. I don't know if we found out, though, how well Brent Brennan can play pickleball. That remains to be seen. Let's hear from the new head coach of the Arizona Wildcats football team, his opening statement at today's press conference at the stadium.
It's good to see everybody. Thank you, Dave. I know he already introduced my wife and daughter who are here, but Courtney and Casey, it's awesome having you here. And if I didn't mention you, I'd be that guy that didn't mention you, and I don't want to be that guy. But Courtney is our rock. She's a coach's wife to the core. She's been around every locker room. She's been a part of every huddle. not an easy path, but a incredible journey. And so I'm super just grateful for you. And Casey and the Brennan kids, you know, two of them are in college now, but the youngest one's still in high school. And I think this is, you know, he's so excited about this. And he's also sitting there going, shoot, I'm 16 and now I got to leave my friends and family, or people here. So, Scotty, I hope you're watching. Love you. I really want to thank President Robbins and Dave Hickey for giving me this opportunity. Like, my excitement about being here is over the top. I haven't really walked around here in a long time. A couple years ago, we were here for the bowl game, and this building had not been renovated yet. It looks nothing, or it looked then nothing like it looks now. The thing is unbelievable. I had no idea of just the commitment to facilities and the upgrades that have happened here, you know, from Dave and from President Robbins and from like an incredible amount of donors and people that care at a really high level to build something really special here. And so I've been walking around today with a member of my staff who's coming over with me from San Jose State, Ben Thenis, and it's been awesome. Like we are really excited about just how welcoming everyone has been and how amazing just walking around the university is and seeing these upgrades. It's been 20 years since I really walked the campus, right? So got a chance to meet Coach Lloyd today, which was awesome. So there's just a lot of really cool things, and I'm really grateful for the reception. I say all these things because I think people make the place special, and I'm absolutely all about people, and that's what has been really cool. It's just the outpouring of love and affection that I felt for, you know, from everybody here in town, the community, everywhere, social media, whatever, just the outpouring of you know, well wishes and you know, people excited about us being here. You know, Nancy, I can't even look at you right now, but the impact that I know that Dick and Nancy had on this university, but really on my path, it's embarrassing a little bit. I don't think very often in your life, when you work, you think about somebody every day, like somebody, but that's what Coach Tomey's been for me. He's been the guy that every single day I think about, what would Coach T do here? Coach T would kill you for what just happened in this game. You know, that kind of stuff. We just love you and we miss him. And again, people make the place, and you know, Dick and Nancy made this place home for a long time, and obviously did a lot of incredible things with the football program. I started as a GA here in 2000, and I shared a supply closet with Dave Phipp, who's currently, you know, Wildcat, you know, free safety, strong safety, tough guy. One of the, you know, I would say one of the real Tomey guys, right? Walked on, did it the hard way. He's, you know, and he's now special teams coordinator for the Detroit Lions. And so I had this awesome moment. It was yesterday morning. I knew I was coming here, and I called him. I went for a walk like 5 in the morning in Los Gatos, California, this little small town we live in. And he picked up the phone. You know, he's getting ready for a big game this week. You know, he picked up the phone and he immediately started screaming. And you know, his choices of words I can't repeat, but it was so exciting. We just had this incredible moment where we're both like screaming at 5 in the morning in Los Gatos, which you don't know, sometimes that can get the police on you pretty fast, you know. But it was just this incredible moment because he and I sat closer than this in the supply closet in the old offices. You know, at the time, my wife and I were newlyweds, and there's just been lots of life since then. You know, 3 amazing kids, all kinds of, you know, football journey. Just, you know, we were with another Arizona legend, Rich Ellerson, at Cal Poly for 4 years when we left here, and then we left Cal Poly and we're at San Jose State with Coach Tomey and Mike McIntyre for the next 6. And, you know, the experience of having that much time with Coach Tomey was really special. And just the toughness and the enthusiasm, but so much of how I'm built is because of what he instilled in me. And really, it starts with the players. It starts about loving your players and caring about your players. It's about player first. I mean, you know, person first, player second. And that's how I built every program or every position group that I've ever been a part of. And then went to Oregon State with Mike Riley. And, you know, Mike was an awesome head coach and a really successful head coach, and I learned so much from Mike, and I was there with him for 4 years and Gary Anderson for 2. But all these people had a real impact on my process and on my development as a coach, but none other than Coach Tomey. Because even when I was away from him, I always heard from him. And I'll tell you all a funny story. So I get the head job at San Jose State. And if I'm going too long, Dave, give me the hook.
Hey, whoa, this is your day. This is your day.
All right. So we're at San Jose State. And Coach Tomey had this saying that you're either coaching it or allowing it to happen. Okay? Some of you in the room have heard that before. And so we had just lost to Hawaii. It's my first year at San Jose State. And I see Brandon Sanders over there nodding his head on that coaching it or allowing it to happen phrase. So in the game, we're playing, and it's a close game in the fourth quarter, and it's my first year, and we're not very good. We're still trying to get it on track. And we are down 2, and we intercept or we give up a touchdown, and they kick it off, and we score. We return a kickoff for a touchdown. But from 10 yards, maybe 20 yards out, maybe Ben, 20 yards out, one of the lead blockers and the returner high-fived all the way down the sideline as they scored. And then they got in the end zone, and there was like this big choreographed end zone celebration. Okay, so long story short, we lose the game. And I'm standing in front of the tunnel in Aloha Stadium, and I see Coach Tomey walking towards me. And when you were in trouble with Coach Tomey, he walked with you with like a little bit of a forward lean. And I knew I was in trouble. Like, think about it. It had been like 15 years since I'd worked for him, and I still knew I was in trouble, right? And so he's walking, and I'm talking to the media, and so I'm trying to finish up because I see it, and I know what's coming. And so I finish up with the media, and I immediately start backpedaling into the tunnel. Coach Tomey, so he's there, and I immediately say to him, Coach, I'm sorry. I know the penalty thing was embarrassing. It cost us the game. And he said, don't apologize to me. Get your ass back in that locker room and you apologize to your team because you're either coaching it or allowing it to happen. And I was like, okay. And so he just always had all these lessons for me, and they never stopped. And it was really cool because they continued when I got to be a head coach. And so 7 years at San Jose State as the head coach, I felt great about what we did there. I was really fortunate. I had great administration. I had 3 presidents, and they were all fantastic. The first president, Dr. Papazian, she believed in me when no one else did. Right? I was an assistant coach at Oregon State, and she saw something in me that no one else had before her, and I'm forever grateful for her. And I worked for good athletic directors and good ADs, and they gave us a chance to build a real program there, which was really, really rewarding. Again, the people make the place, and I'm really grateful for all those people and all those coaches that impacted my journey, but really all the players and coaches too. Right? I worked with a lot of people on our staff, and the amount of players that have reached out to me, current players that I coached or players over the last 25 years, that's been an overwhelming thing for me, just the people's outpouring of love and support and excitement for this opportunity for us. And so, when I look at the opportunity here, all I can say is that I am incredibly honored to be the head coach at the University of Arizona. This is just an amazing moment for me, and I'm trying to get to know the team. I absolutely believe we can build a consistent winner here. We have everything you need to do that. And as I'm getting to know the kids, and I've been, in the weight room and the locker room and in the dining hall and in the indoor, making sure I got all the right facilities there. These players love this place, and they're really committed to each other. And so I have to be ultimately committed to them, but also putting a great staff around them, which I'm in the process of doing. That's one of the more complicated things of taking a job. But I promise that we're going to have great leaders, mentors, and developers of talent in the building to help them get where they want to go and elevate our program as high as we possibly can. I think lots of schools talk about family, and I think it's a cliche thing in the football world. I don't think anybody did it better than Coach Tomey here when I'm seeing all these former players. My brother was a former player, and how they still interact and the outpouring of love that I've gotten from them since this has all gone down. And that's what we are going to continue to do. We are going to double down on family, double down on loving each other and caring about each other, and we will build something you can all be proud of. That's all I got.
Hey, that is the new head football coach. Yeah, let's hear him, please. That's the new head football coach of your Arizona Wildcats, Brent Brennan. I love that story that he told about how his two guys celebrated that touchdown, cost them a penalty, and Coach Tomey's at the game, and he's like, oh, gosh, it's been 15 years, but I'm still in trouble.
You know what I want to know? I want to know what the captain thinks.
Man, I'm excited, man. I know the family. He's like family to Coach Tomey. Anybody that's like family to Coach Tomey is family to me. And I think he can get the job done, though. I mean, I watched what he did at San Jose State with a little bit of nothing. I think that you get to a school like Arizona after you've learned and went through things like you went through at a school like that. I think he can come over here and really elevate the program. I love that he's an offensive guy, especially with all the offensive talent that we have on this team. I think he can do great at keeping some of those guys around, but I think he's going to do great in getting out there recruiting and bringing guys in and coaching them up and loving on them like Coach Tomey did and getting that family-like atmosphere back going.
Man, family first, Kelvin. Yeah. I mean, everything he said, just, all the great programs I've seen from the outside here at the U of A over the years. If it was Luke, Andrea, Tomey, doesn't matter, Kelvin. It's just all about that, student athletes first, putting the student athletes, their studies, what their mentals are, all those things off the field, off the court first, and everything else takes care of itself. Obviously, X's and O's, is necessary to get wins. And if you don't have healthy student athletes suiting up for you, and just everything he had to say today, I'm already a big fan.
He's going to be good. I think it's going to be a good situation here for this Arizona Wildcats program. A guy that is very grounded. We've talked about it before. Could this, we'd like to find our Kyle Whittingham, and this might be that guy. This might be that guy that makes Tucson the place to be, that he wants to be, builds consistent winners year after year, and has a commitment to wanting to be here in Tucson. I think this might be that guy. We'll have to see how Kevin, it plays out from here.
That's what I was saying yesterday because, 85, Coach Olson put his name in the Kentucky job. 89, Coach Olson had his name in the Kentucky job, right? And both those times, especially the second time, there was a chance Coach O was going to leave Tucson and go and coach in Lexington. And he took his name out of that mostly because of the Tucson family and his own family. And he stayed in town. That was 89, bro. And he was here for so much longer. And I was just saying, man, Jed Fish is his own man. He's got his own path. He's doing his own thing. But it's going to take that for the Arizona football program, like Coach Tomey, where you're here for a long, extended period of time to build upon that success that you have, to get recruits to come in to say, hey, don't you want to play with these guys over here? Don't you want to build that legacy? The stadium gets full, Kelvin, because you got 9, 10, 8, 9, 10 wins back-to-back years, and that takes stability and long-term, and it feels like Coach Brennan, wants to be here, that family, that love for the town, obviously, married to a Wildcat. I mean, I just think I'm really happy for the hire and all those things.
I was going to say, I feel like you have to have that family type of atmosphere at Arizona because we'll never be the school with the most money. We'll never be able to buy the best players. But what we can offer, and if you get the former players in there and they all could let you know, family, stay together. That was our thing, stay together, which is kind of crazy right now when you're seeing some of the guys on the team right now, the Fafitas and the T-Macs, they're staying together. They're all staying close. And that was our thing that we used to say all the time. If we broke every huddle, stay together. And so I just think that at Arizona, though, you have to have that recruiting that comes from understanding that you're going to be a part of something, not just to get to the NFL. That's great. That's great. I'm telling you, the more guys you can get to the NFL, that's a great selling point. But the reality of it is most of your guys are not going to the NFL.
Right.
And so what you want to build is great men, and you want to build and get guys ready to be able to go out and take care of their family. So it's more to it than just NFL. I used to like that talk with Fish. I did. I thought it was cool. But at the same time, I used to also think, like, you know, from being a 49-year-old man now, like, it ain't all about the NFL.
Yeah.
It's about relationships. It's about the time, all the hard work that you've done. It's about learning how to become a man and being around coaches that care about that type of stuff.
All right, let's tell you what we've got coming up the rest of this second hour.
Let's take a look at the Right Way Rundown and see what's coming up on our pregame show. Brought to you by Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Do things the right way.
All right, we'll check the Pac-12 scoreboard. Brought to you by Mesquite Valley Growers. Light tonight, only 2 games on the docket. This is one of them. You'll hear your spotlight on a cat. Keyshawn Johnson, what he thought about the loss at Washington State and how the Wildcats will bounce back. Our pest of the game, brought to you by University Termite and Pest Control. Who will be that Trojan that gets underneath the Wildcats' skin tonight? Your best bets, the over-under tonight, 160. The Wildcats have pretty much blown through that number at McHale Center this season. Will that continue tonight? Keys to the game, starting lineups, all still straight ahead. It's the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off show with Kelvin Ifan and J.W. Madden. I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management pregame show is brought to you by Blue Whale Car Wash, Caruso's Italian Restaurant, Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing, The Diamond Store, Goldberg and Osborne, Goodfellas AC, Humane Society of Southern Arizona, Lexus of Tucson, Nova Home Loans, Recon Auto Detail, Ride Now Power Sports Tucson Police Department.
Tired of dry, itchy skin? Have mineral buildup at every faucet. Ram Plumbing's affordable, green, eco-friendly water softener and alkalized purification systems are built right here in our great state of Arizona and use a fraction of the wastewater as their competitors. Want soft water, non-chlorinated, or the best alkalized drinking water? You can trust Ram Plumbing to be your one-stop shop. Ask about their Water Taste Challenge. 40th year anniversary savings, up to $500 off water systems and $40 off any service. If your plumbing's in trouble, call Ram on the double.
Saguaro Harley-Davidson is a pre-owned inventory destination with hundreds of pre-owned Harley-Davidson motorcycles to choose from. Save $2,000, $4,000, or even $6,000 at Saguaro Harley's pre-owned clearance sale. Now through the end of the month, Saguaro is accepting 100% of all credit applications with low financing options available. Take a test ride and receive a free dealer tee only at Saguaro Harley-Davidson or online at saguaroharley.com. Some restrictions may apply. OAC, see dealer for details.
Here's an important message from University Termite and Pest Control. The weather is getting cooler here, and so rodents will be seeking alternative housing. Do you need a professional? Call University Termite and Pest Control, 886-4146. They've been serving Tucson since 1974. You can be assured University Termite and Pest Control will keep you pest-free using the most responsible products and application methods. 28 school districts, 3 hospitals, 2 colleges, 1 university, and thousands of homeowners trust University Termite and Pest Control. You can too. Call University Termite and Pest Control today at 886-4146 or go to bepestfree.com.
Think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
First Chiropractic offers military discounts to retired and disabled veterans, and they now accept patients with access insurance. For more information and to find the location nearest you, visit firstchiro.com, the most trusted name in chiropractic care.
First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
Coach Tommy Lloyd here. Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing is the ultimate team when it comes to your home's comfort.
Thinking about replacing your heating and air system? It's free furnace season at Right Way.
These are some of the slowest months of the year. We have equipment in stock and our crews are available.
And to spark business, we're including an 80% furnace absolutely free with the purchase of an air conditioning system.
And if that's not enough, we'll include a Wi-Fi thermostat, 10-year parts and labor warranty, plus we have zero interest financing available.
Call or text 520-200-2422 today or visit rightwayac.com.
Does it feel like the price of everything is going up, up, up? We can't control the price of gas or groceries, but at Royal Kia, we never add market adjustments, even while other dealers add fees because inventory is limited. At Royal Kia, you can rest assured you won't pay market adjustments, and we stand by our transparent online pricing. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $529 doc fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus or royalkia.com.
The Window Depot is more than a window store. The Window Depot is a one-stop warehouse with everything you need for your complete home remodel. Shop the aisles of pre-built cabinets in a variety of colors, granite and quartz countertops, sinks, skylights, and hardware to complete your project. Need a custom order? We can help. Our designers offer free design services and can special order everything you need for your kitchen or bathroom remodel today. Shop thewindowdepot.com or find a location near you. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
The Visit Tucson Desert Showcase returns as CF Montreal and Minnesota United collide in an MLS preseason showdown Saturday, January 27, 6 p.m. at Keno North Stadium. Single tickets start at only $16. Go to fctucson.com or call 520-600-3095.
Do you need your home repiped? Having trouble with your water heater? Leaking toilet? Have you ever thought about an instant recorded seweroscopy? Then call Economy Plumbing Service at 885-3510. Because if water goes through it or to it, we do it. Economy Plumbing, 885-3510.
The Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show continues on the home of Arizona men's basketball, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Welcome back to the show. Getting you set for Arizona and Southern California tonight at McHale Center. Let's take a look at what's going on around the rest of college basketball.
The Pac-12 scoreboard is brought to you by Mesquite Valley Growers. Mesquite Valley Growers. Real growers, real experience, real nursery.
All right, just 2 games in the Pac-12 tonight on the Wednesday side of the weekend schedule. The other game is up in Tempe at the Desert Financial Arena. Arizona State coming off their first loss of conference play. They played last week at Washington and fell to the Huskies. And so the Sun Devils are 4-1, 10-6 overall. They'll welcome in the struggling UCLA Bruins, who lost big at Utah last week and stumbled into Tempe with a record of 2-4. USC and Arizona, the other game on the docket tonight. Now, the Thursday games this week, and there will be 4 of those. It'll be Oregon State at Utah. The Beavers are 1-4 in conference play. Utah 3-3. Washington at 2-4, coming off their win over Arizona State, will travel to 2-4 California. The lone undefeated team in conference play right now is the Oregon Ducks at 5-0. They will visit Colorado. The Buffaloes stopped their 3-game conference losing streak with the win over USC last weekend. So they are now 3-3 to Oregon's 5-0. And then Washington State, coming off their 2 big wins over Southern California and Arizona, will travel to Stanford. That should be a good game as Stanford enters at 4-2. The Cougars are now 3-3 on the season. Top 25 games tonight around the country. We're watching one right now. The number 1 ranked team in the country is the UConn Huskies. Surprised by that, Kelvin, that UConn got the number 1 spot and not Kansas this week.
A little, because you would think the Big 12 was a little better than the conference that UConn is in, Big East. So I would have thought the Big 12 I think they have 8
ranked teams.
8 ranked teams. So yeah, that's a little weird, but I'm sure Coach Self is cool with it because who wants to be number 1 right now? Right now. Right. Really? No, at the end of the season, I want to be in the top 4. So I get that number 1 seed, and hopefully I'll be number 1 at the end of the season. But number 1 right now, how much does that really matter?
Only one other game on the docket tonight involving 2 ranked teams. That is, in fact, in the Big 12. Number 25, Texas Tech, will visit number 5, Houston. The Cougars are coming off a couple of losses in a row. They are now 1-2. Texas Tech at number 25, though, a surprising 3-0 to start Big 12 conference play. Looking ahead at the conference that we will soon be a part of here, West Virginia playing Oklahoma. The Sooners obviously leaving the conference. West Virginia is 1-2 so far in conference play. Big matchup in the ACC, or maybe not. Louisville just 6-10 and 1-4 visits the Dean Dome in Chapel Hill to take on number 4 North Carolina. The Tar Heels seem to have righted themselves from their season last year, in which they did not even make the tournament. They are 13-3 and undefeated 5-0 so far in the ACC. In terms of the SEC, a couple of games on the docket tonight. LSU hosting number 22 Ole Miss. Both those teams are 2-1 in conference play. And number 8 Kentucky is up 9 in the first half on Mississippi State. That's a look at your scoreboard. So far, let's find out who that Trojan might be that gets underneath Arizona's skin tonight.
Who is today's Pest of the Game? The Pest of the Game is brought to you by University Termite and Pest Control. Check them out at BePestFree.com.
Took Me Win going to join us a little bit later to tell us a little bit more about this USC team that we will see tonight here in Tucson at McHale Center. It's an 8 o'clock tip-off. You'll hear it right here on Wildcats Radio 1290. Well, we're not sure if Joshua Morgan is going to play. We're not sure if Boogie Ellis is going to play. We know Isaiah Collier is for sure out. So do we
protect that NBA stock?
Do we keep any of those three in our pest file for tonight? We'll start with you, Calvin.
Man, you know what? I want to say my guy Bronny, but I can't pass up another NBA son, DJ Rodman. He has some experience against us at Washington State. I'm pretty sure he got a dub with them against us. So he has that experience. He shoots threes. I think he'll shoot a lot of threes today because he usually plays the power forward, small forward, so he'll get that matchup where he can get some shots. I just think DJ Rodman has the potential to be a thorn in our side.
J-Dub, what do you think?
I think Dennis Rodman is probably the pestiest pest I ever saw in my life.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think he's got a lot of experience. I'll just go with Bronny just because, I think you're looking at a very depleted team, and it's just going to be energy, effort, defense, that kind of thing. That's the only way that Arizona's going to have any kind of trouble tonight. And I think they're running out of guys, DK. I think they're running. There aren't a lot of guys on that list who you can pull from. I think DJ, great pick. I'll just go with Bronny just because it's Bronny James.
All right, well, I'll go with Kobe Johnson then, just because, again, like we mentioned earlier in the show, he's a guy that can do a little bit of everything. He can score for you. He can defend at that end of the floor. He leads the team in steals with 33. He can block a few shots. He's second in that category as well, and he can dish out assists. He's second in that category as well, so he's a stat sheet stuffer, and you're going to need that type of night, I think, from Kobe Johnson for the Trojans to have any chance of winning this contest tonight against the Arizona Wildcats. So Kobe Johnson, DJ Rodman, Bronny James could be the Trojans that get underneath the Cats' skin tonight.
That's today's Pest of the Game. The Pest of the Game is brought to you by University Termite and Pest Control. Visit BePestFree.com.
For the record, I'm talking like 86 Dennis Rodman before he left the Pistons when he was skinny. He was just running around before he became a rebounder. Oh, man, that guy was a pest.
Man.
He was exciting to watch, that's for sure. His daughter's a pretty good soccer player, too.
Yeah.
On the U.S. national team. So his kids have done well for themselves in their athletic endeavors. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. If you'd like to get in on the program, we'll head back over to the text crew. We got a text that said Tyler Loop came to class today, so that's a great sign from one of our fans out there. Tyler Loop, of course, is the kicker. Everybody watching the football roster to see what happens. Kelvin, in fact, we just got some news on another portal. Someone else pulled into the portal.
Yeah, no, I was surprised, man, when I looked in there and I seen Burnett in there.
Keon Burnett.
Yeah. Which is his dad is Chester Burnett, and he's a smart guy. He's a businessman, trust me. So I guarantee he's looking at his options and whatnot. But I was definitely surprised with the Servite connection.
Yeah, he's out of that Servite deal there of those players that came. Including Tetro McMillan, the wide receiver, Noah Fafita, the quarterback, Jacob Manu, the linebacker. So the coach is here. He's met with guys. I'm sure he's starting to maybe have some individual meetings, and we're going to find out who's staying and who's going. And, again, it's going to be a tough situation. Nobody said that this was going to be easy. There are going to be players that are going to leave Arizona's football program. That'll be disappointing. But, again, it's the way that it's set up now for the players to have that opportunity for the next 30 days. They can jump in for 30 days from this past Sunday. So through February 13th, players can make that decision to enter the portal at this particular time because of the coaching change. Then they'll have that next 30-day window will be at the end of spring practice when they can enter into the portal as well if they decide that. And we saw that happen last time around, too. Mm-hmm. Guys went through the spring to kind of get a feel for what was going to happen.
Right.
And then you make your decision then about where you potentially might want to
And, hey, I mean, look at what happened in Boulder, right? Like, they lose like half the
team.
2/3 of their roster left after spring.
Including Montana Lamonius Craig, who ended up here with your Arizona Wildcats. All right, 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Arizona fell to Washington State the last time out on Sunday. We mentioned Isaac Jones named the Pac-12 Player of the Week. Tommy Lloyd on what makes Isaac Jones such a good ball player.
Well, he's a unique player. I mean, you got a big that can kind of handle the ball on multiple dribbles, get the post ups from different scenarios. Creates foul pressure. He's got a supreme right hand jump hook. So you try to cheat and take that away. I mean, he gets the other stuff, and he does a great job at the end of the play, going through your chin, and he has soft touch. His ball goes in. He had a couple layups there at the end. I thought we're going to roll out, and then they hung in, and they stayed in, and that's a credit to him. And soft touch for a big man and a ball that goes in it's a premium skill.
Well, and no, again, potentially no Joshua Morgan will remain to be seen for the Trojans tonight on the inside. He's not as much of a scorer as Isaac Jones, but he can block shots with the best of them in the conference. What do you think, Kelvin, in terms of that, the Wildcats and the block shots we saw on Saturday? If Joshua Morgan is in there tonight, how would you want to see them approach that when they get the ball down low?
As he just said, what the kid did the other night from Washington State, go through the chin. Go through the chin. You go up physical. You have that. You have to be aggressive. You have to go up to dunk the ball. I believe. I mean, anything over 6'4", you know what I'm saying? Especially when you're the 6'7", 6'10", real athletic guy. Go up to dunk. Force the referee to have to make a call. Don't put it in a situation to where the referee can say they tipped the ball or they block your shot. No, finish through these guys and go up physical. And then the other thing that you could do as well is you always could screen the shot blocker. Screen them and get them off of them and give the guys opportunity to go over a smaller guy. That's when you use the big, the small screens, or the small to big screens, or big to big just to get the shot blocker off, and so you have another guy.
All right, our Spotlight on the Cat is coming up next here. It is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off show, along with Kelvin Ifan and J.W. Madden. I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off show on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
The universal truth of women's shoes. The cuter they are, the more they hurt.
You have to put your best foot forward, and if your best foot is an ugly shoe, oh my goodness.
Lisa Ann thought she had to choose between looking good and feeling good until she got fitted for arch supports at the Good Feet store.
Now I can wear the shoes that I've picked out because I like the way they look, not because they were comfortable.
Good Feet relieved her pain and her fashion dilemma. Stop by or schedule your free fitting at goodfeet.com.
Come to the Good Feet store in Tucson at 4811 East Grant Road.
Hey, Eugene, what's with the giant pile of scratcher tickets?
With these scratchers, I'll win enough dough to enroll in the UberTube car repair classes and finally know how to fix your car right.
Well, then keep on scratching, Eugene.
Good luck on that, guys. But if you need a sure thing in automotive repair or for your next set of tires, check out Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. And this month, pay with your Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care card and get $66 back.
And check out our full page of promotions and discounts at jackfurriers.com.
Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care since 1960, here to get you there.
The Window Depot is proud to sponsor the first look at today's game and would like to invite Arizona Wildcat fans to visit one of their Tucson warehouses. The Window Depot provides over 1,000 in-stock vinyl windows, interior and exterior doors, plus granite and quartz countertops, and a huge selection of custom cabinetry, all at the lowest prices in town. Consider the Window Depot your MVP when it comes to your home improvement needs. Stores are open Monday through Saturday, or order online at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
This summer, savings is the ultimate drive.
The road has been long, and now you're here. One incredible family.
You've saved so many families so much. I want that opportunity.
Savings and Selection 100, now playing at O'Reilly Chevrolet. Go to O'Reilly.com, call 747-8000, or test drive one on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Find new roads at O'Reilly Chevrolet. More than a great price.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Hi, this is Tim Couch, retired NFL quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, partner at Meridian Wealth Management, and proud member of Meridian's Tucson Advisory Business Council. It's my favorite time of year, college football season. I've always been a proud Wildcat. As our firm has grown in Tucson with Ruben and Natalie Fernandez, I now cheer on 2 Wildcats every year. My alma mater of Kentucky, of course, and our U of A Cats. Here's to a great football season, and go Cats.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
True Wildcat fans know that when you're looking for the best place to watch all the big games on big screens, drinking cold beer and having the best food, all paths lead to Desert Diamond. Bet on your Wildcats and all your favorite teams 24/7 on our easy-to-use kiosks. Come chill on our comfy couches and build your best bet at Arizona's best bet, the Desert Diamond Sportsbook and Bar.
An enterprise of the Tohono O'odham Nation.
Problem gambling? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Desert Diamond Casino is licensed in Arizona.
Hi, this is Natalie Fernandez-Lee, President of Meridian Wealth Management. As a fiduciary investment firm, our clients have trusted us to guide them down their financial paths for decades. Whether you are an individual or family, business, foundation, or nonprofit, we are committed to your long-term goals and financial futures. We are proud supporters of the Tucson community and all that makes our city so special. Visit online at meridianwealthllc.com to learn more about Meridian.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Desperate buyers have created tremendous opportunity for sellers. If you've had the slightest thought of selling your home, it's time to call Sean Poston with the Poston Results Team at Keller Williams, Southern Arizona. Why choose the Poston Results Team? Past performance, more money in your pocket, over a 65% referral rate, an incredible Poston Results Team staff, and most important, communication, because you and your home matter. The Poston Results Team. When buying and selling really mattered, go to TucsonHomeValues.com. That's TucsonHomeValues with an S.com.
The Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show continues on the home of Arizona men's basketball, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Arizona and USC tonight. Buzz Jackson, our fine friend over at Kim FM, just texted me the shot of the urinal over at. Did you see the urinal at General Ben's?
No, I did not.
Oh, they put the picture of Jed in his purpleness. They put like pictures of Jed in his purpleness all through the urinal at General Ben's. I saw that earlier, and a friend of mine in Phoenix texted it to me, and now our guy Buzz Jackson sent that to me. Buzz Jackson bringing in the country music singers today. We had a performance here at the station. Young lady named Annie Bosco. Annie Boscovich, her brother, actually was on one of the Rose Bowl winning teams at USC back in the Pete Carroll era.
Yeah, name sounds familiar.
Yeah, she was here today and performed for us in the conference room. So shout out Annie Bosco for that great performance today. She comes from a Trojan family, so maybe she'll be at the game tonight. Maybe she'll be singing the national anthem. I had not heard that, but you never know. And it's a blackout, we understand, tonight at the game. They had the blackout a few weeks ago for the women's game against Colorado, and there'll be a blackout tonight for this game. And Jada, what is I believe they're fighting. It's something to fight cancer. Is that correct? I know Tommy mentioned that, I think, in his press conference yesterday.
Yeah, it's dark mode is what they're calling it. So same as it was. I believe that was what they called it for the other game. But yeah, it's a blackout to encourage everybody to wear black, and it is obviously a fight. It's obviously a cause to fight against cancer.
Yeah. So I don't know if I think Coaches versus Cancer kind of starts up now, usually around this time of year. The Wildcats had an event yesterday over at the Diamond Children's Medical Center where they went over and gave shoes to kids, which was kind of a cool little event that they had. Or I believe it was like a painting event where they gave shoes and then the kids could paint the shoes or paint whatever they wanted to on the shoes, and a number of kids painting the shoes red and blue and putting the block A on there. And so head on over to the Arizona Basketball Twitter page, and there's some good stuff up there on that event they had yesterday at the hospital. Let's find out a little bit more about one of our Arizona Wildcats.
Our pregame show Spotlight on a Cat is brought to you by O'Reilly Chevrolet. Get more with O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Keyshawn Johnson for your Arizona Wildcats, averaging 10 points a game during conference play. Keyshawn, 6'7", senior out of Oakland. His points and rebounds so far this season are career highs for him. So he's doing a little bit of everything, raising his level of play since he came over here to Tucson to play for Tommy Lloyd. And he had a chance to sit down with the media this week. Let's hear from Keyshawn.
We're all playing like cards and bowling the other day, or
nah, that was some of the other guys. I didn't really participate in those games.
What did you do during your extra time in Pullman?
During the extra time, I spent a lot of time reading my Bible, reading a couple scriptures. Trying to get more wisdom just on the Word of God. That's pretty much it.
Is any of that in regards to the team or just your own personal?
My own personal journey, own personal spiritual journey.
What is this week? I know it's kind of early in the week, you have Wednesday game, but what has it been like this week preparing for USC, UCLA? Have you noticed anything different from the team during this week?
I noticed our energy been picked up. Our energy, we all uphill from here. Heading into the LA games, we know USC is very talented and UCLA is talented as well. So we know energy is probably something that we may have lacked on the road, and we just trying to build that energy back up and keep sustaining it.
Obviously, through the course of a 30-plus game season, there's going to be highs and lows. How do you keep that energy, and you talked about that, at that level at the right point in time? How do you do that as a team, since you've been a part of winning organizations?
There's no really black and white formula to how you do it. It's just got to be something that you make happen. There's no right answer to answer that question. You just gotta, if you feel that feeling in your heart and everything, you just gotta make sure you may have had to congratulate a teammate. Had to pick up a teammate or something like that. Once you feel like the I'll say the dullness in the room, just try to get that out there. By telling Big O next play mentality or something like that. Something like that.
So there was you and USC were the pick to finish 1-2 in this league. They're really struggling. You guys are having a couple losses in the league. I mean, do you feel like this is a game where both teams are going to be pretty desperate out there, or what kind of?
When it comes to conference play, everybody desperate. Like, every game is a top game. We go on the road, it's a top game for us. They come here, we know they're gonna bring their best, bring their A game. So it's not just because we was preseason 1 and 2. Honestly, that really doesn't matter. Like, who knows what the future holds and everything. So we just know that they're gonna bring their A game, and we gotta also bring our A game.
So after the game on Saturday, Tommy referred to you guys as an average team right now. What were your thoughts on hearing some of that? Do you agree with that?
I agree with the message that he was giving to us. He's like, as our potential is out the roof. We the best team in the country, but we don't need to get big-headed. We need to play like we're still trying to prove something. As an average team, you don't want to hear that, so you want to prove that. So that's just coach telling us, like, we got to get better, and we have played average throughout some of the season. Just making mistakes and stuff like that. So when he say that, he means like there's just a lot of room for growth. So that's all he means, and I 100% agree with that.
And from you, on an individual standpoint, you had scored in double digits, I think maybe the first 12 or so games, 10 games, and lately, other than the 20 against Utah, it's been a little lower. Is there anything different about the way you've been playing or the way you've been defended?
No, it's nothing different. It's just basketball. You can't really go out there and predict the numbers you're gonna have. I don't go home and get down on myself because I didn't score double digits. I'm not even used to scoring double digits in my college career. I'm just used to making winning plays. Even against Washington State, I believe I had 5 offensive rebounds. But that don't really show, as in like, okay, he did a lot during the game, but 5 offensive rebounds, that probably gave us a chance to even stay in that game. So just me, I just want to make winning plays. I don't really care about how much I score and things like that, as long as I can impact the game. Like, even getting a deflection, they don't count deflections on no stat out there. So but that's something that could really change the game, and that's just what I want to do.
There were a ton of offensive rebounds for the team, but then also a lot of missed shots close to the basket. Is that just kind of the randomness of college basketball, or is there something about like the importance of finishing when you're close?
Like you said, you pretty much just answered the question. The more missed shots is the more opportunities you get to offensive rebound. A lot of times, if you win a rebounding battle, you will win the game. It's just like the cookies didn't crumble that way. We just still missed a lot of shots and things like that. But like I said, it still gave us a chance to stay in the game. We only lost by a few points, and without those offensive rebounds, it could have been a blowout. It could have been a blowout. So you just got to think of the positive part about that. So we just got to stick with the rebounding, and then we know, like, you can't count on our best players missing shots like that. Like, that's just not us, But like I said, basketball, you don't pitch shutouts, So we're going to make those shots. We're going to make a lot of those shots, And then if we could get offensive rebounds, that creates second chance points, Whoever win a second chance battle, 8 times out of 10 will probably win a game.
One of the key players on your guys' roster is Kylan Boswell. He's been big throughout the season for you guys. Obviously didn't have the game he wanted, putting up 0 points, but what do you say to a guy who's so young and still learning as a player to help him progress from that point on?
It's not really what I say. He pretty much already know. Like, we already know he's a mature kid. He's not just an immature kid that don't really know what's going on. Like, basketball is so unpredictable, and he's talented than any other 18-year-old that I probably ever met, So he knows that he got a lot of weight on his shoulders at a young age and things like that. But I would say the thing that I would probably just say to him, and that coaches also say to him, is just try to keep having fun. Don't worry about what numbers say, what the outside say. Just keep having fun. That's my advice to him.
And you talk about the outside, and I know Coach Fish talks about rat poison. He mentions that a lot. But how do you avoid the outside noise? How do you avoid social media and stuff like that when you're going through a season?
That's a great question. My answer to that would be, don't look at it. Stay away from social media. Stay away from all that. In the day and age that we live in, it's everywhere. You can't really hide from it. So I would just say push it away. Push all social media away. I would advise any college athlete to do that, because everybody, it's critics everywhere, whether they know what they're talking about or they don't know what they're talking about. But it's freedom of speech, so they can say anything they want. So I would just say just avoid social media.
So what was the week like? You got back Sunday night. Did it feel normal coming in, just having two days to turn around? this game, or was there anything different about it once you got back?
It's work. We got to get back to work. It's hard to go undefeated in the season. Of course we don't want the losses, but we still in competition for getting that trophy in the tournament and getting the trophy at the early April. So we can't just dwell on the past at this point. We just got to keep working. Come back in another day of work and having fun and getting our togetherness right.
I was just wondering if staying there an extra day versus being here made any difference, or maybe in a sense was it at least a chance to hang out together? Or
of course it was a chance to hang out together, but it's really just all about controlling what you can control, and what you can't control, don't really worry about it. We couldn't really worry about the plane not working or stuff like that. So we just, didn't really make complaints. As soon as we got back home, we knew we had to get back in the weight room in the morning, get back to practice, and that's what we did.
Time for two more for him. I just wondering about defense, and do you feel like overall you had it on Saturday, maybe more so than, say, Stanford, or do you feel like more effort might have helped as far as getting through screens or whatever? I mean, what was your kind of take on that?
Personally, I feel like our effort against Washington State was there. You can't really get offensive rebounds and defensive rebounds without effort. Our effort was there. Of course, there's always room to grow with effort, but we missed a lot of shots. We made a lot of mistakes on the defensive end as well, But that just happened over the course of the game, Things happen. Compared to the Stanford game, that was just a game that really we wasn't really ourselves, and we learned from that as well. So any loss, any win, you could just learn from it. So we're just gonna learn from those.
So like that one shot toward the end when the Miles Rice hit that kind of mid-range shot that really kind of sealed it for them. Was that a mistake, do you think, or was that just where you're maybe going to give up or those mid-range shots because of what else you're doing?
I wouldn't say it was a mistake. It was just a good shot by him. Good players make good plays.
When you look at USC, UCLA, being a California kid, what's your excitement level of playing programs like that? I know it's been a long time since you were recruited, but is there any extra, I don't want to say pep in your step, but just playing those types of programs in an area that you grew up in?
The Pac-12 in general, we know UCLA, Blue Blood, USC got a great name. Both of them schools produced a lot of people, a lot of NBA prospects, other pro prospects. So we know just the household name that they have. It's not like it's been a dream come true to play those teams. I played those teams in my past, in my career in college. So it's not really, I wouldn't say it's another game. We know we got to bring our A game, but it's just an opportunity that we got to take advantage of. We know those teams are good, and then it's going to be like an iron sharpen iron game. That's all I can say about that.
That's today's Spotlight on a Cat has been brought to you by O'Reilly Chevrolet. Get more with O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Good to always hear from Keyshawn Johnson, veteran forward out of Oakland, California, who's in his first season with the Arizona Wildcats, playing very good basketball for Tommy Lloyd and his crew, and we'll be looking for Keyshawn to continue that tonight against the USC Trojans in a game that tips off at 8 o'clock. You'll hear it right here on Wildcats Radio 1290. We are 2 hours in the books. Coming up in the last hour, you'll hear from Tukey Wynn. Tukey Wynn writes for the Los Angeles Times. She'll give us a clearer picture of what we've got tonight coming into Tucson with this USC basketball club led by Andy Enfield, who is in his 11th season leading that program. It is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off show, along with Kelvin Efon and J.W. Madden. I'm David Kelly. Glad you could be with us this evening as we get you set for basketball night in Arizona. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management pregame show is brought to you by Blue Whale Car Wash, Caruso's Italian Restaurant, Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing, The Diamond Store, Goldberg and Osborne, Goodfellas AC, Humane Society of Southern Arizona, Lexus of Tucson, Nova Home Loans, Recon Auto Detail, Ride Now Power Sports Tucson, Tucson Police Department.
Tired of dry, itchy skin? Have mineral buildup at every faucet. Ram Plumbing's affordable, green, eco-friendly water softener and alkalized purification systems are built right here in our great state of Arizona and use a fraction of the wastewater as their competitors. Want soft water, non-chlorinated, or the best alkalized drinking water? You can trust Ram Plumbing to be your one-stop shop. Ask about their Water Taste Challenge. 40th year anniversary savings, up to $500 off water systems and $40 off any service. If your plumbing's in trouble, call Ram on the double.
Does it feel like the price of everything is going up, up, up? We can't control the price of gas or groceries, but at Royal Kia, we never add market adjustments, even while other dealers add fees because inventory is limited. At Royal Kia, you can rest assured you won't pay market adjustments, and we stand by our transparent online pricing. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $529 dock fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus or royalkia.com.
Hey, Eugene, what's with the giant pile of scratcher tickets?
With these scratchers, I'll win enough dough to enroll in the UberTube car repair classes and finally know how to fix your car right.
Well, then keep on scratching, Eugene.
Good luck on that, guys. But if you need a sure thing in automotive repair or for your next set of tires, check out Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. And this month, pay with your Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care card and get $66 back.
And check out our full page of promotions and discounts at jackfurriers.com.
Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care since 1960, here to get you there.
Do you often worry you left the garage door open? With a LiftMaster garage door opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out.
Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates is your authorized local LiftMaster dealer. Visit KaiserDoor.com for more information.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
With the new year, we usually make resolutions to be healthier. Water quality in your home can help you achieve healthy living goals. I'm Ron Arenas with Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing. We offer solutions to filter the water in your house that you drink, shower, and cook with every day. For clean and healthy water, call 520-440-4069.
The Window Depot is proud to sponsor the first look at today's game and would like to invite Arizona Wildcat fans to visit one of their Tucson warehouses. The Window Depot provides over 1,000 in-stock vinyl windows, interior and exterior doors, plus granite and quartz countertops, and a huge selection of custom cabinetry, all at the lowest prices in town. Consider the Window Depot your MVP when it comes to your home improvement needs. Stores are open Monday through Saturday, or order online at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
You know, there are times when you want a new truck, and there are times when you need a new truck. So if either of those times are right now, O'Reilly Chevrolet has the time for you. O'Reilly is kicking off Savings and Selection 100. To celebrate 100 years in business, we have over 100 trucks to choose from. See them all at O'Reilly.com. Call 747-8000 or test drive one today on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Find new roads during Savings and Selection 100 at O'Reilly Chevrolet. More than a great price.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rock & Kay. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills. Enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. Hit the community trails, explore local parks like Saguaro National and Colossal Cave, and mingle at private Diamond Community Park events. In the top-rated Vail School District, Rock & Kay is close to work, shopping, and services. Tour 11 different model homes by top-tier builders, offering move-in-ready homes and special incentives. Live RockandK.com. Designed by Nature, proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Here's an important message from University Termite and Pest Control. The weather is getting cooler here, and so rodents will be seeking alternative housing. Do you need a professional? Call University Termite and Pest Control, 886-4146. They've been serving Tucson since 1974. You can be assured University Termite and Pest Control will keep you pest-free using the most responsible products and application methods. 28 school districts, 3 hospitals, 2 colleges, 1 university, and thousands of homeowners trust University Termite and Pest Control. You can too. Call University Termite and Pest Control today at 886-4146 or go to bepestfree.com.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We have the Arizona Wildcats covered on game day like no one else. We are Wildcats Radio 1290. The Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show continues on the home of Arizona men's basketball, Wildcats Radio 1290. Let's take a look at the Right Way Rundown and see what's coming up on our pregame show. Brought to you by Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Do things the right way.
Final hour of the show as we lead you to Arizona USC tonight at McHale Center. It's the LA schools in town this weekend. Trojans tonight, UCLA on Saturday at 2. Get your best bets coming up here at this hour. Minus 19, the Wildcats are favored with an over-under of 160. How are you going to play that tonight? We'll tell you how we are going to play it. We'll get your opponent scouting report brought to you by Ram Plumbing on USC. Took knee win from the LA Times. Will join us to talk about the Trojans. Keys to the game, starting lineups, all of that still straight ahead as we take you up to 7 o'clock and network coverage tonight. Guys, some sad news in the game of basketball. Dejan Milovic has passed away. He is an assistant coach for the Golden State Warriors. The Warriors were on a road trip in Salt Lake City where they were set to play the Jazz. I believe the game was tonight. And he suffered a medical emergency at a team dinner last night, was taken to the hospital, and has passed away. Very tragic situation developing around the Golden State Warriors organization. This is a Serbian-born assistant coach who's had a large connection with a lot of the top Serbian players in the National Basketball Association, including two-time MVP Nikola Jokic. A statement released by the NBA and Commissioner David Silver says this: the NBA mourns the sudden passing of Golden State assistant coach Dejan Milovic, a beloved colleague and dear friend to so many in the global basketball community. Steve Kerr, Arizona Wildcat, says, "We are absolutely devastated by Dejan's sudden passing. This is a shocking and tragic blow for everyone associated with the Warriors, an incredibly difficult time for his family, friends, and all of us who had an incredible pleasure to work with him." Dejan Milovic was just 46 years old. Guys, a guy who obviously has had a tremendous connection with a lot of the top players in the league right now.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking Bronny, right? I mean, that's a hard issue as well. And just so sudden. I read the news initially when it happened. They were at a team, private team meal. And just to have something like that happen, I understand that they canceled the game pretty much immediately before the even news came out that he had passed. But obviously, it's just such a tragic situation. He touched a lot of players. From what I'm reading, a lot of people loved his enthusiasm about the game, and it's just. I mean, what can you say, guys?
Yeah, he worked closely, I mentioned, with Jokic. Worked also with Clippers center Ivica Zubac, Orlando center Gogo Bitadze, and Houston center Boban Marjanovic as well.
Boban.
Yeah, those are some of the guys that he has worked with, as well as obviously the big man with the Warriors, Kevon Looney being one of those that he worked with that ball club. Always tragic to see, obviously, something like that happening to somebody of that age, only 46 years old.
It's so sudden, like unexpected. Yeah.
Right. So our hearts and prayers are with the Golden State Warriors family as they deal with that tragedy. All right. 520-848-1290 if you want to get in on this program this evening. If you are on your way to McHale Center for this game tonight, we want to know what you think. Will the Wildcats bounce back like they have pretty much done after every loss of the Tommy Lloyd era? This is the 15th loss, and in the previous 14, they have come back and won by a whole lot of points. I don't know if they updated, if our guy
well, it was 23 or something
updated
like
the
that.
stat.
And then they won by 40 something, right?
Yeah,
So,
it was 20. It was 22 points, I think, average win after a loss. Let's see. Under Tommy Lloyd, Arizona has not lost back-to-back games. They're 14-0, and they've won those games by an average of 22 points. And that's the number one in the starting five for this ball game.
Also, a reminder, just to backtrack, you said if you're on your way to McHale, if you are on your way to McHale and you aren't wearing something dark,
Yes.
you may stand out because it is
Stop at Target.
dark mode night tonight. So fans are encouraged to wear black for this game for the first time, and that's the event that's going on this evening in hopes to raise awareness for cancer.
I hope that USC don't wear their black uniform.
I was going to say, like, black seems like a USC
Well,
kind of
that's
color.
what happened.
Yeah.
That's what happened with when they did it for the women's game. It was a dark out, and that's what black is one of Colorado's colors.
Yeah.
And Adia was like, "Whose idea was that?"
Yeah.
USC got these new black uniforms they wear. So
yeah. I would think that they probably told them not to bring those uniforms.
It feels more, he's probably going to work with you more than, some of these
people.
coaches.
Yeah.
Right.
There was some type of uniform gate. Was it against UCLA in football or something this past year?
It wouldn't change.
I
never asked. What do you think about those red uniforms?
Oh, yeah, the red uniforms. I think I heard a lot of people didn't like them.
The tiny font. That's like the late 90s, isn't it? That era? That was like a throwback to the ones they wore up there at Washington State. They're like what they're red, but they got those little kind of like a light, like a smaller white font.
Yeah, that must have been later 90s.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, that's what I meant. Like late 90s.
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I think that was the late 90s.
Okay, Goblin's like, nah,
I'm no uniform expert, but I mean, I remember when they came out, whatever. But it feels like that was about that era.
Arizona leads the all-time series with USC 74-46. The Wildcats have won 12 of the last 13 here in Tucson. USC's only win came 3 years ago in 2021 here in Tucson. I always talk about my first experience here at the University of Arizona came in the spring of 1988. Or February, probably not spring, but the winter of 1988 as a basketball manager. My first year as the head manager at USC, and we came in here around that time to play that was the team that obviously would eventually go on to the Final Four, the first Final Four team of the Lute Olson era, and got housed by 40 points. And it was kind of funny because a few years ago, I don't remember what the occasion was, but they were showing videos of something from that era. I'm not sure maybe if it might have been a night where they were celebrating somebody from that team, but video of that particular game showed up, and I'm like, I was like, it was kind of grainy, but I'm like, oh yeah, that's probably me sitting at the end of the bench there during that game when we got killed.
That was
by 40 points.
Rough year for the Trojans. I actually remember that because they set some kind of record for the combined margin of victory. Let's see. No. This is not to bring up bad memories for you, DK.
Oh, well, thank you.
But no, I'm just talking about reality here. 87-88, it was 92-48.
Okay.
Was the score in Tucson.
So that's 44 points.
And 103-68 in California.
Yeah. And
those are the two
and thank
games
goodness
they
I
played
don't
that
think
year.
we had to play them in our one appearance in the Pac-12 tournament, which was held. I think that was held here. That Pac-12
That's right.
tournament
Yeah,
was
I was
here.
there. Yeah, the Pac-12 tournament was in McHale. Yeah.
We didn't. I don't think we had to play. I forget who we lost to, but it was a short stay. It was fun though. We had a good time. I could tell some stories about that, but we won't. The Green Dolphin. Learned about that weekend.
Yeah.
That was some fun. We had some fun there.
Yep.
I think 10 cent beverages of some sort that night.
The players didn't get to go because they took that L. If they would have won, they would have got out. They would have been over at the Rock.
No.
Or the Paragon.
No.
The Cat House.
That was one fun.
Bump
That was one
steer.
fun thing about being a manager is we didn't have to live by the rules that the players had. We could kind of do what we wanted to do, which was kind of nice. All right. I want to play this one cut from Tommy here before we get into the best of bets that he talked about. He was asked this week about the Wildcats being better at their ball screen defense. Here's what Tommy had to say.
The number one thing you ought to start with is effort, and sometimes you need to take a step back and focus on doing the thing you're supposed to do better and harder. That's number one. And then number two is, are there adjustments we need to make? Anything that would help us gain advantages in other areas. So you look at a combination of the two things, effort and adjustments.
One thing that I noticed towards the end of that game on Saturday was I thought Umar was out of position defensively on a couple of instances down the stretch. And it kind of goes back to one of the things I've been talking about with him, maybe not necessarily reading situations as well. There was one instance where he just basically stepped away from Isaac Jones to defend on a guard, which I didn't think he really needed to do in that particular situation, because there was already guards there. It wasn't like I think it was I want to say it was Kylan, and it wasn't like Kylan was necessarily beat on the play, but he just kind of came up to help, left Jones, and it was an easy pass down to Jones for a dunk, and then again just not defending the rim well enough when guys get beat on the perimeter and he's the second line of defense in those instances, not defending the rim against smaller players. And so what's kind of Tommy talking about there in terms of ball screen defense and how they can be better at that?
Well, just listen to what you just said right there. 1 minute I step up and help, and you drop it out to my man, right? And so now it looked like my man is getting off, and then I stay with my man and he score. And so now it looks like I'm not helping. So it's just one of those situations where it sounds like you got to help the helper, right? And so what that means is when Ballo steps up to stop the ball, another guy has to come down and take his man and to keep that guy from scoring. You want to force the ball back out to a three-pointer and take away the two, especially when you're going against a team that was working in the paint so well. You don't leave Isaiah Jones. You double him and force the ball out of his hands with him having such a great game scoring. So it's just little adjustments sometimes that is not what the game plan said do. And I've been saying this before, DK. I say sometimes you got to take some risk on the defensive end of the court and try to do the right thing, right? And so what I mean by that, if I see a guy that's scoring, I'm gonna double him, especially if it's a big guy there. And like you said, a guard coming down, I'm gonna try to stop that ball every time and force the other guy to do his job. But a lot of times though, when you see the big don't come off of his man, it's because they feel like they're not getting help with their guy.
Yeah, I think it's a misnomer when you think a two-man game and you think that if you see a misassignment or whatever, that's two guys' problems. It's a family. We're talking about family here. We're talking about all five guys on the court. So it's two-man game, high pick and roll, whatever you're talking about, whatever kind of action you're talking about there at the top. All five guys are responsible. KYP, if you got a shooter in the corner, obviously you're going to make sure that you do not leave that guy open because that's where the ball is going to kick out to. However, Kelvin, there's all five guys have to be responsible. Helping the helper means you're not letting your guy back cut you, but you're also not letting some guy get right to the rim. So as far as, being aware of what's going on at all times, having high activity and high action, making sure that you understand what the offense is trying to do, but just not losing sight, of everything going on at all times. And that's just focus, Kelvin. I mean, the game plan's a game plan. But keeping your mind in the game, and that's, I think, you talk about DK open looks for opponents this whole season long. It's not necessarily a missed assignment by the man who's guarding ball. It's about the entire all five guys staying on the same page. And again, we have talked about it. There are a lot of new faces. There are a lot of new guys trying to work their way, figure out each other's tendencies and whatnot. That's not just an offensive thing. Defense, it's all about communication. So you just got to stay locked in. We've seen some possessions this year. We've seen some full games this year, guys. Look at Wisconsin. I mean, they took Wisconsin completely out of what they were trying to do offensively. This can be one of the best defensive teams in the country when they're all connected. They just got to stay connected.
There's a question I want to ask. I'll ask it on the backside in the final segment in terms of this subject and Umar Ballo on the interior. But let's find out if we can win some money on this game.
Tucson, what are some of today's best bets? Will the Cats beat the spread? It's time to look at some of today's best bets. Brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
All right, U of A, minus 19. J-Dub.
Yeah, home game, I'll say bounce back after a loss. I'll say they win by 22.
Kelvin, minus 19.
I'll say they win by 20.
Ooh.
I say they win by 20. Yeah, it's right there. It's right there. All right, 20, right on the
All
dot.
right, I'm laying the points on that as well. This has been a U of A team that has played very well at home, and USC could be without a whole lot of folks tonight.
Yeah.
Even if they are healthy, it's going to be a tough road to hoe for the Trojans, I think, here in Tucson this evening. Over under 160. We've seen some unders recently as we've gotten in here to conference play.
Yeah, I think
Not home, though, I don't think.
I think I'll go over Yeah. I'll go over, but not by too much. Like,
Okay.
yeah, 165, 170.
Calvin?
Yeah, I'm in the same. I was looking at 90, 70. I think that you as the game go along, I think you end up bringing some guys off the bench so they'll be able to score a few more points right there. Then they scored 58 and 64, I think, the last couple games. With Arizona being a little agitated about that loss, they're going to be all over them early. So I think they're going to jump out and get their 90 points again, and I think they'll come in with 70.
And fellas, we haven't even talked about the energy of that building. Like, we're talking about the last time the Trojans and Bruins are coming to town. We're talking about the day when a new head football coach got announced. I mean, the energy in McHale tonight is going to be off the chart.
I'm going to go. We don't know what's going to happen. We'll talk to Tukney Wynn here shortly and get her opinion. But I'm going to go under because if they're missing a bunch of guys offensively, they might not get to 60, 65 points. I don't know if they get there. I mean, I could see U of A scoring their 90 and them not necessarily getting to 65. So I'm going to go under, slightly under on this one.
Just think that fast pace.
Yeah, J-Dub's at 20 and 10. I'm at 19 and 11. Kelvin at 18 to 12. Somebody's going to make a move here tonight.
Those are today's best bets. They are brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
All right, Tukney Wynn going to join us. We'll talk about the Trojans next. It's the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off show. I'm David Kelly along with Kelvin Efon and JW Madden. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management pregame show is brought to you by Broadway in Tucson, Dave & Buster's Tucson, Dorado Rock, First Choice Pools, The Good Feet Store, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, O'Reilly Chevrolet, Ram Plumbing, Restaurant Supply Store, Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Rocking KA Master Plan Community Design by Nature, University Termite and Pest Control.
Southern Arizona Radiology Associates have been dedicated to providing superior images and quality care for the last 35 years. They're the one you trust when you need an X-ray, CT scan, ultrasound, mammogram, or MRI. They have locations in Tucson, Green Valley, and Sierra Vista. Ask your doctor to refer you to Southern Arizona Radiology Associates today. That's Southern Arizona Radiology Associates. Visit their website at sararadiology.com or call 520-335-6849 for more information.
True Wildcat fans know that when you're looking for the best place to watch all the big games on big screens, drinking cold beer and having the best food, all paths lead to Desert Diamond. Bet on your Wildcats and all your favorite teams 24/7 on our easy-to-use kiosks. Come chill on our comfy couches and build your best bet at Arizona's best bet, the Desert Diamond Sportsbook and Bar.
An enterprise of the Thana Optum Nation.
Problem gambling? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Desert Diamond Casino is licensed in Arizona.
What up, Tucson? This is Joseph Blair, former Wildcat and assistant coach of the Washington Wizards. When I came to play basketball at the U of A in the 90s, the Tucson community became and has always remained a special part of my life. And this is why I proudly joined the Meridian Wealth Management Tucson Advisory Business Council. If you have financial questions or concerns, please be sure and call my friends Natalie or Ruben Fernandez at 719-1433 or visit online at Meridian Wealth LLC. And as always, bear down, Tucson.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Saguaro Harley-Davidson wants your bike. Call or visit our website to schedule an appointment or stop by today to receive an inspection and an offer. Whether you're looking to trade in or trade up or just looking for some extra money, we are prepared to make you a tempting offer. Don't deal with the hassle of selling it to a stranger. We're here to make the process quick and easy. Only at Saguaro Harley-Davidson or online at saguaroharley.com. That's saguaroharley.com. Some restrictions may apply. See dealer for details.
Southern Arizona Radiology Associates have been dedicated to providing superior images and quality care for the last 35 years. They're the one you trust when you need an X-ray, CT scan, ultrasound, mammogram, or MRI. They have locations in Tucson, Green Valley, and Sierra Vista. Ask your doctor to refer you to Southern Arizona Radiology Associates today. That's Southern Arizona Radiology Associates. Visit their website at sararadiology.com or call 520-335-6849 for more information.
Coach Tommy Lloyd here. Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing is the ultimate team when it comes to your home's comfort.
Thinking about replacing your heating and air system? It's free furnace season at Right Way.
These are some of the slowest months of the year. We have equipment in stock and our crews are available.
And to spark business, we're including an 80% furnace absolutely free with the purchase of an air conditioning system.
And if that's not enough, we'll include a Wi-Fi thermostat, 10-year parts and labor warranty, plus we have zero interest financing available.
Call or text 520-200-2422 today or visit rightwayac.com.
Here's an important message from University Termite and Pest Control. The weather is getting cooler here, and so rodents will be seeking alternative housing. Do you need a professional? Call University Termite and Pest Control, 886-4146. They've been serving Tucson since 1974. You can be assured University Termite and Pest Control will keep you pest-free using the most responsible products and application methods. 28 school districts, 3 hospitals, 2 colleges, 1 university, and thousands of homeowners trust University Termite and Pest Control. You can too. Call University Termite and Pest Control today at 886-4146 or go to bepestfree.com.
Caruso's, a Tucson tradition since 1938, located on historic 4th Avenue. For 4 generations, Caruso's handmade sauce has been prepared with love by a family member, using only the best ingredients. Enjoy specialty Italian dishes like lasagna al forno, chicken tetrazzini, real Italian sausages, spectacular pizza, as well as many vegetarian options. Caruso's offers outdoor dining on their garden patio with indoor dining also available. Open Tuesday through Sunday, with all your favorites available for takeout. For more information, call 520-624-5765 or visit their website at carusositalian.com.
The Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show continues on the home of Arizona men's basketball, Wildcats Radio 1290. Our 1290 scouting report is brought to you by Ram Plumbing. When your plumbing is in trouble, call Ram on the double.
Now let's take a closer look at tonight's opponent, the Southern California Trojans. Pleased to be joined by Tookney Nguyen. She covers the Trojans for the Los Angeles Times. And Tookney, this is quite the name team. We've got a James, we've got a Rodman, we've got a Kobe. But the question, I guess, is like who exactly is going to play in this game tonight? I know that there's not going to be any Isaac Collier, and there's been a number of injuries that the Wildcats, I should say, that the Trojans have been dealing with. Let's start with what do we know about Boogie Ellis's status for this evening?
Yeah, so we will have a James. There will be a Rodman. We're not sure if we're going to be boogieing, though.
Okay.
We're not sure. Yeah. Boogie Ellis has been kind of dealing with a hamstring injury. It's kind of been lingering for much of the season. He missed last week's game against Colorado. And he is with the team. He's traveling with the team, but he's going to be day-to-day. It might be a game-time decision. He might decide to go and test out the hamstring, and it might also be a question of how far can he go, because when they played Washington State at home last week, 2 weeks ago? Time is a flat circle. We don't know.
Last week, yeah.
So when they played Washington State at home, he played. He was kind of gritting through it. You can tell he was kind of limited. So we'll see how his hamstring is feeling. But he is at least with the team in Arizona today.
Well, and if you take 30 points away from this team and Boogie Ellis and Isaiah Collier, who's obviously going to be out for probably another 4 to 5 weeks, what does that leave Andy Enfield?
Oh, man, he is scratching his head. Offensively, they're going to be counting on Bronny James to play a larger role. He has been working back from that cardiac arrest episode in the summer, which was very scary, but he came back pretty relatively quickly after that, which was great to see. And he was a really big defensive linchpin for them. He is a very stout defender, a smart player. He's a good connector on the court, as you would imagine someone who has, learned how to play the game from one of the best ever. But they're going to need him to score a little bit more. And he's in a little bit of a shooting slump. He's 0 for 14 from the field in his last 3 games.
Wow.
And he started his first career start against Colorado last week with no Isaiah and no Boogie, and he went 0 for 7 from the field. So they're going to need him to kind of bust out of that slump. We know he can score. He scored a career-high 15 points earlier this year on the road in a game, I believe it was Oregon State. So we know he can score. He's a good 3-point shooter. I think he just needs to find his confidence again.
We're joined by Tukni Nguyen from the Los Angeles Times. Today's scouting report is brought to you by Ram Plumbing. When your plumbing is in trouble, call Ram on the double. Let's talk a little bit more about Bronny James. We actually had a press conference here with Tommy Lloyd this week, and not one person asked him about Bronny James, which was kind of shocking to me because I think that would be the first person that most of us would be asking about. I was not at the press conference, so I can't speak for everybody that was there. There's a football thing going on here, so there weren't a lot of writers there, I think, with Tommy this particular week. But Bronny James, you mentioned obviously coming back from the situation he had during the summer. Is he 100%? I guess, how would you categorize where he is in terms of health-wise right now?
I think he was on a minutes restriction for a while, and the minutes restriction was roughly 20 minutes. The last game against Colorado, he played a career-high 25. So I think he's working back really well. I think he's still kind of getting his rhythm back in the game a little bit. So, but I don't think they're too worried about the progress of his health. I think he's progressing at the rate they're happy with. And it's really good to see him back on the court after what happened, obviously. One of his teammates, Vincent Iwuchukwu, went through the same situation a year earlier, and Vince didn't return until conference play started. So Bronny returned about a month and a half earlier than where Vince did, and they're completely different issues, even though they were both kind of cardiac arrest situations. But so you can't necessarily say they should be on the same timeline, but it was still good to see Bronny James get back on the court, and I think they're happy with how he's progressing, and the fact that he's coming off a career-high 25 minutes is encouraging for them right now.
We mentioned this is the all-name team with a James and a Kobe and a Rodman. Let's go down the list. Let's talk about DJ Rodman, a known commodity in the Pac-12, comes over to USC from Washington State. How does he fit in with this group as a transfer?
I think they really need someone like DJ. He brings a lot of athleticism, versatility on the wing. He can shoot. I think it's just hard for really anyone to get their rhythm on this team because everyone is in, everyone is out, someone's hurt, someone new is hurt. So I think he is one of those guys who can definitely pop off, think a bunch of big threes when they need them, come up with a big defensive play. But I think he is kind of like the rest of his teammates, just trying to find a rhythm together. And he had some really big moments against Washington State as his former team, but I think they as a team just couldn't get over the hump together and kind of like make some of those big threes DJ hit in the second half really count toward a win. I think defensively as a whole, they're really struggling. I mean, we talked about missing Boogie Ellis and Isaiah Collier. They also might be without Josh Morgan today, who's coming back from an upper respiratory illness. He missed the last 2 games. He's their starting center. He's their best post defender, and defense is where Andy Enfield has long kind of like prided himself as a coach, at least at USC, and their defense right now is not looking good. And one of the reasons why is because they don't have Josh Morgan kind of patrolling the middle. He leads the conference in blocks per game, so they could use a lot of help. they could really use a lot of guys coming off the injury report.
Yeah, that's tough when you don't have your guys in there. And we mentioned the last on the name list, Kobe Johnson. He's got the first name Kobe, but the NBA connection is his brother Jalen, obviously, who plays with the Atlanta Hawks. I would imagine he's a guy that's going to have to kind of carry this team offensively. But when he has this season, the Trojans have generally played pretty well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Kobe Johnson is kind of the last link of the big three, what they're calling the big three, which would be Big D. Ellis, Isaiah Collier, and Kobe Johnson. So he's the last man standing. They need something big from him. Scoring, defensively, he's flashed so many great skills and great talents and flashed his talent at various points of this season. He's a captain on this team. They need a big performance from him against a really obviously difficult opponent. And this team, USC, if they want to get into the NCAA tournament, they need to start padding their resume a little bit because they are carrying around 2 Big West losses from the non-conference season. And because of where the Pac-12 is right now in its men's basketball kind of the hierarchy in the country, there aren't a lot of chances to get marquee wins in this conference right now. But this one is obviously the biggest fish left on their conference schedule.
You mentioned a couple of Big West losses earlier in the year to UC Irvine at home by 10, and then against Long Beach State. Both of those games came at home, losing to Long Beach State in overtime. Andy Enfield, though, has produced, I believe, 4 or 5 straight 20-win seasons for this program. Is the Trojan fan base, are they still happy with the job that he is doing with USC basketball?
Our fan base is ever really that happy. Let's be real.
Not really.
Yeah. I think people are excited about USC basketball in ways that they haven't been before, leading into this year, because they did have Isaiah Collier, and he was the number 1 ranked recruit in the country. They were bringing in Bronny James, and I do believe the Bronny James effect is real. More fans are in the stands maybe than I've seen in a long time. So I think people are excited about the team, and they want the team to do well. It's just like all the injuries, some of those losses. It's making it hard for fans to love the team that they want to love. It's kind of one of those like, help us, help you. Give us a reason to want to cheer for you. So I think fans are interested in this team right now, but getting a few more good wins would make them a little more interested.
And how about the youngster Isaiah Sellers? I would imagine he's getting maybe a little bit more of an opportunity with some of these injuries.
Yeah, definitely. I think he kind of fell out of the rotation a little bit, especially when Bronny came back, because Isaiah Sellers is not the best defender. He's still kind of coming along in that respect, and that's one of the places that Bronny James has shined really defensively. Even when Isaiah Collier was full health, sometimes Bronny would be closing games as like a defensive linchpin. So they really trust Bronny a lot. And now with Isaiah out, Boogie may be questionable, they're going to need a little bit more from Isaiah Sellers, and he's actually coming off a career high 18 points against Colorado. So he's in a rhythm, and I think USC could use a little bit more scoring from him today too, especially if Boogie is not able to go.
Tooknee Wynn from the LA Times is our guest. She's got our scouting report today, brought to you by Ram Plumbing. When your plumbing is in trouble, call Ram on the double. A couple of questions took me outside of USC men's basketball. One heck of a women's game the other night between the Trojans and the crosstown rival UCLA Bruins, 2 top 10 programs. What was I don't know if you were there that night, but what was the atmosphere like at Galen Center for that?
Yes, I was there. It's about time we talk about the women's program. They're the best two college basketball teams in the city, USC and UCLA.
Yeah, how about
It was a
that?
great game.
Right?
It was a completely sold out Galen Center. It was the first top 10 basketball game at Galen Center ever. There were fans packed all the way up to the very, very, very last row. It was really fun. Juju Watkins is amazing. She scored 32 points. Chris Brown was there. Candace Parker was there. Cheryl Miller was there. So it was a big event. It was a lot of fun to see. And I know Arizona women's basketball has been great again under Adia Barnes in recent years too. So it's great to see the Pac-12 women's basketball teams doing really well, and it's shaping up to be a really fun conference season on the women's side too.
Yeah, and for people that don't know the name Juju Watkins, all she's done is won Pac-12 Freshman of the Week on the women's side 9 times already this season.
9 out of 10.
9 out of 10, exactly. Full disclosure took me, I'm a USC grad. I cover the Wildcats here in Tucson. I am not happy about the Trojans leaving the Pac-12 for the Big Ten. What's the sense you get talking to people about this pending change in the landscape in college athletics as it relates to USC?
Yeah, I think it's hard to say because I think maybe at this point everyone is, maybe the word is resigned to what the future is. College sports aren't going to be the same as what we all fell in love with, what we thought they were. And it's not just conference realignment, whatever, transfer portal, NIL, choose whatever gripe you want to choose. There are a lot of options. But this is the world we live in now, and we'll have to see where it goes. I think from a purely competition standpoint, football and men's basketball, it's going to be very difficult for those programs to compete in that conference because football and men's basketball are very strong in the Big Ten. So it's going to be a big jump for UCLA, USC, Oregon, my alma mater, Washington. So it's going to be a big change. There are going to be changes for every program on the horizon. It's going to be so strange without the Pac-12.
Real quick, I'm also a huge Cleveland Cavaliers fan, and I loved Lindsey Gottlieb when she was on the staff there in Cleveland. I kind of knew she would put this thing together at USC on the women's side. Did people, though, think it would happen this quickly?
Yeah, and she's been doing great. I think everyone knew she would do it. Even Juju the other day said she's surprised at how quickly this is coming together and kind of the crowd they were able to get. This is only Lindsey Gottlieb's 3rd year, and I looked this up the other day. She's had a top 5 win at home in each one of her seasons here. She beat Arizona the first year. Last year was Stanford, and this year was UCLA, all at home. And before she came here, USC women didn't have a top 5 win since 2014.
Wow.
So, almost 10 years if you want to round up. So she's been doing a really great job, and I think part of she laid the groundwork well in the first 2 years with what she had, but then getting Juju and signing her, she's obviously from LA, to keep her home, the type of talent she is, the type of kind of the magnetism she has. People want to come to watch Juju, and they know her name. To have that kind of influence on the program has kind of like sped up Lindsey Gottlieb's timeline to something much faster than I think anyone else would have thought.
So she may be more famous than the other Juju that came out of USC, huh?
There's some good Juju coming around downtown LA. I don't know. I'm not the first person to make that joke, but We've got to bring it up when we can.
And I'm sure I won't be the last. Hey, Tookney, I appreciate you taking a few minutes to join us and bringing us up to speed on USC basketball.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
It is Tookney Win from the Los Angeles Times with your scouting report.
That's today's 1290 Scouting Report, brought to you by Ram Plumbing. When your plumbing is in trouble, call Ram on the double. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tipoff Show on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Get the backyard you've always wanted with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you're ready to dive in, then visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Schedule now and get 3 months of full service free. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilders.com. First Choice Pools, the first and only choice.
Experiencing the Sonoran Desert's natural wonders comes easy at Rock & Kay. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. 6 model homes are now open to tour at Del Webb at Rock & Kay. Here, life is about more than just beautiful homes. It's about the experiences waiting outside your front door at this new 55-plus active adult neighborhood. LiveRockandK.com. Designed by nature, built for you. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
When you use your electric vehicle in autopilot or self-driving mode, accidents can still happen. Whether you're considered at fault or not, you may still have a claim. Lerner & Rowe has a dedicated team skilled in this new science. We are the first law firm in America with the ability to review the proprietary software and hold electric vehicle manufacturers responsible. If you or a loved one were injured in an electric vehicle accident, call Lerner & Rowe today.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Does it feel like the price of everything is going up, up, up? We can't control the price of gas or groceries, but at Royal Kia, we never add market adjustments, even while other dealers add fees because inventory is limited. At Royal Kia, you can rest assured you won't pay market adjustments, and we stand by our transparent online pricing. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $529 doc fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus or royalkia.com.
Well, it's that time of year. You dress the kids up for the holiday parties, and they hate it. You dress everybody up for the annual holiday card picture, and, well, everybody hates that. You even dress the turkey, and we're pretty sure he's not happy about that. This year, dress up your yard in time for the holidays. Call Dorado Rockin' Materials, and we promise there will be no complaints. Make your yard beautiful and worry-free with their personal service and convenient delivery times. Dorado Rockin' Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
Frog and Firkin, a standout among the bars and restaurants in the University area. Frog and Firkin does what very few pubs can, combine a festive atmosphere and great beer with a menu that could stand on its own in any restaurant setting. A sports enthusiast dream with over 30 TVs, 30 beers on tap, and over 100 imported domestic bottles. Daily drink and food specials, and the kitchen is serving until 10. A standout in the University area. Frog and Firkin. Eat local, support local. frogandfirkin.com.
What do you mean, trenchless?
Means no trench.
But it's the sewer line.
And they did it without ruining my yard.
The yard we're standing in?
The very same.
I don't know if I trust that.
I trust that because I trust them.
Them?
Ram Plumbing.
Locally owned and operated Ram Plumbing, offering a comprehensive range of plumbing services from fixtures to installation to trenchless sewer replacement. Turn to Tucson's most trusted plumber. When your plumbing's in trouble, call Ram on the double. Online at bestplumbertucson.com.
Savings in Selection 100 is going on right now at O'Reilly Chevrolet because we have selection, we have savings, and we have over 100 trucks, including Chevy Silverados, the #1 selling full-size pickup in Arizona. See them all at O'Reilly.com. Call 747-8000 or test drive one today on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Find new roads during Savings in Selection 100 at O'Reilly Chevrolet. More than a great price.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
See dealer for details.
Cactus RV and Marine now offering consignments on RVs, travel trailers, boats, trucks, cars, and SUVs. Sell without the hassle and let Cactus RV do it for you. Cactus RV and Marine is also a local independent service center, so they can help keep your RV, travel trailer, toy hauler, and boat in pristine condition and ready to sell. A true one-stop shop. Call now, 888-2233. Visit cactusrv.com or visit them at their original location on Romero, just north of Prince during I-10 construction.
The Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off Show continues on the home of Arizona men's basketball, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Well, hang with it. I mean, that's it. Hang with it. I mean, you're. I don't know how many people's careers have been defined by one game. You know, when they were 18 years old. So just hang with it. You're going to get better. You know, and you know, let's dissect some things and figure out if there's anything to this or not. And sometimes it's just a matter of taking a step back and just focus on playing with great effort and kind of letting the chips fall. And, you know, maybe he's just got to do that a little bit. So, you know, overall, I mean, Kylan's had, you know, he's had some real highs this year, way more highs than lows. He's just had a few lows. And, you know, I'm not making a lot out of him, you know, because I also watch a guy that practices pretty well, you know, as well. And, you know, on that same token, I'm really happy with the contributions Jaden's making, and, you know, and hopefully we could continue to see him grow, because the one thing I know is this is, you know, he plays, and when he plays well, our team plays well. So, you know, I want to keep hanging with that too.
That low for Kylan at Wazoo, 0 points, missed all 5 shots, 2 shots from 3, went 0 for 2 from the line. He's a 90% free throw shooter. No rebounds, no assists, no blocks, no steals in that ball game. Hang with it is about all you can do. And as we talked about at the top of the show, I think everybody is going to be looking tonight to see if there are any lineup changes for one Mr. Tommy Lloyd as he enters this weekend against USC.
Well, I mean, think about this. Would you think it would be one at home? I mean, they play pretty
Probably
well.
not.
Yeah. I don't think so here. This is the get right. This is the get right here. So, you know, and then he's going to play well this weekend. And then now you back to the road again, you know, if that's what the schedule. I got to look at it and see. But, man, they play pretty good at home.
Yeah, it's about picking them up, right, Kellen?
Yeah.
I mean, it's about instilling confidence.
Right.
They got a pretty good schedule this year, did the Wildcats. They don't have any, other than the non-conference, they don't have any extended multiple weekend road trips in conference play. They play USC and UCLA at home this weekend, then they go to the Oregon schools, then they come back for Cal Stanford, then they go to the Rocky Mountain schools, and they got the 3-game homestand against Arizona State and the Washington schools, and then they go to Arizona State for 1 game, and then they play Oregon the 1 game at home, and then they go to UCLA and USC for the final 2 heading into the Pac-12 tournament. So they'll be on the road for the final 2 and then off to Las Vegas after that for the Pac-12 tournament. But we mentioned earlier, and actually we didn't mention it, Tommy Lloyd mentioned it, the plus-minus for Jaden Bradley. How about this? Over his last 67 minutes, this is the last 3 games, his last 67 minutes, he is plus 56.
Yeah, sounds about right. He's a real efficient guy. He don't really shoot threes, don't turn over the ball. Plays great defense, take great shots, mid-ranges or layups. So, sound about right.
Plus 56. That is a pretty good number for the sophomore Jaden Bradley out of Rochester, New York. In fact, he has led Arizona in the plus-minus category in 7 games this year. 7 of the Wildcats' 15, or actually now 16 contests that they've played. All right, let's see what our keys to the game are going to be tonight.
Wildcats fans, our keys to the game are brought to you by the Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive, the dealership that is different.
All right, keys to the game. I'll start with you, J-Dub.
All right, I got them written down. Let me grab it. Number 1, defense, purpose, intensity. I want to see under 40%. USC coming in undermanned. I just think get right game. Defense should be the purpose, should be the identity of this team, should I say. Number 2, I want to see that extra pass, guys. I mean, passing up a good look to get a great look for your teammates. It was something that we saw we've seen it throughout the years with Tommy Lloyd here. I just think those first 10 games, a lot of that, maybe not so much these last few weeks. I think passing up a good look to get your teammate a great shot. I want to see at least 20 assists, at least, and then establish the paint as always. I just think that the inside outside, the 20 misses around the cup, you got to get right with those things. You got to be focused. You got to finish around the rim. Ballo, key shot, guards penetrating, all those things. So at least, I won't say 50, 45 points in the paint I'd like to see tonight. And those, I think, are the keys to beat the Trojans in McHale this evening.
All right, I'd like to see some more aggressive interior defense, especially from Umar Bala. We talked about that kind of at the beginning, at the last segment, and we'll follow up on that here shortly. But I want to see Umar starting to get a few blocks in there defensively. Kelvin, you talked about, taking some chances. I think for me, that's taking a chance there. Umar going for a block is taking a chance, and I want to see some more of that from Umar Balo coming up for so far, or at least coming up in these games here that we've got against USC and UCLA. Also, get the transition game back going again. The Wildcats are winning when they can get out and run and get those points in the break and points in the paint. 40 plus in the paint, 20 plus on the fast break. That's always important for this type of team. And I think if USC doesn't have, if they've got a bunch of players out tonight with injury, you just got to crush their wheel early. I'd like to see the Wildcats go for the throat right away, get up early, and never look back in this game.
Well, I'm going to show my handwritten notes just to make sure that we already have these down.
Hold on. Let me put you on full screen there. So
show my handwritten notes right here. It's my doctor right here.
All right.
But I just said that to say that, you can tell me and J-Dub been around here a while. Right here it said, I said, wear them down with your defense because their bench is short.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really they're missing a few guys, so you can really get after of them and just use that your team to overwhelm them. Finish in the paint. I just think that after having a game like that where you miss 20 shots in the paint, I just think you take it right back in there and jump back on the horse, as they say, right? And then the last one was. We got to get that back up to 19 to 20 assists. We had 14 in the last game, 19 assists. We win that game by 8 to 10 points, right? So I'm with J-Dub on those two for sure. But I just think that defense and wearing these guys down is going to be huge.
Would not help to make some threes like they did on that last homestand, make 10 or 11 threes like they did against Colorado and Utah. But I want to go back to Ballo real quick one more time. And the thing that I said at the top, I want to see him be more aggressive. Can he play, and I said for me that's blocks, but Kelvin, can he play more aggressive interior defense without having to block shots?
The one thing I worry about with him is foul trouble. That's been an issue for him, and I'm sure he kind of tries to protect himself, but it's just one of them things you kind of got to risk, man. I mean, when people are getting to the bucket, people are scoring on you. You got to risk stopping that ball. You got to go for some of those blocks just to intimidate those other guys, the other team, so they'll know that you're going for shot blocks. And he has the athleticism to be able to do it. But I don't necessarily look at him as a shot blocker. I look at him as a guy that changed shots. Get up there, force a guy to take a different shot than he wants. Don't let him get right to the rim. Force him to shoot that little floater, which is a high percentage shot for a lot of guys, but most guys not, right? So that's what I would do. I would just make sure he's stopping the ball. But with that being said, you got to have that help come down and help him. You cannot allow his man to get the dunks that they were getting in the Washington State game. So, you have to, understand that it's a team thing.
All right, that's what
Every part of the game is hard, man.
One more time.
Every part of the game is hard, man.
So let's see if the Wildcats can make those keys happen tonight.
Wildcats fans, that's our keys to the game. Brought to you by the Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive, the dealership that is different. The foundation of a great college basketball team begins with the starting lineup. Today's starting lineup is brought to you by Rockin' K, a master plan community designed by nature.
Starting lineup for tonight's Arizona Wildcats at one guard, Kylan Boswell, 6'2", sophomore out of Champaign, Illinois, averaging 10 points and 4 assists, shooting 41% from three. Caleb Love, 6'4", senior out of St. Louis, Missouri, 18 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Career high 14 offensive rebounds this season for Caleb. Pelle Larsson, 6'5 senior out of Nacka, Sweden, 12 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, needs just 2 assists to get to 300 for his career. Keyshawn Johnson at forward, 6'7 senior out of Oakland, California, 12 points and 6 rebounds, career highs for him in both of those categories. The man in the middle, Umar Ballo, 7-foot senior redshirt out of Mali, 13 points and 9 rebounds, needs just 49 points to get to 1,000 on his U of A career. That's going to wrap up our show. For Kelvin Efon, for J.W. Madden, we thank them. We thank you for listening. Arizona and USC is next here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tipoff Show on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Okay, kids, we're home. Everybody out.
Ew, my feet are stuck.
In what, honey?
On the floor.
Ew. Take off your shoes. Tommy, come carry your sister into the house.
What do you do when the car you use the most has the least amount of time to get clean? Let Recon Auto Detailing, Arizona's premier auto detailing company, come to you and turn your busiest car back into your best. From basic cleaning to a full detail, Recon Auto Detailing. Online at recondetail.com.
Cantina nachos, strawberry watermelon margaritas, a few zombie kills, and all your favorite sports teams live? When your day calls for some winning, it's time for Dave & Buster's, where you can eat, drink, play, and watch all the sports you want. They've got massive HD TVs, hundreds of the hottest new games, a chef-crafted menu, and an incredible list of beers, wines, and cocktails. So remember, if your day calls for a little victory, a little triumph, a little win, it's probably calling for Dave & Buster's.
If you've had the slightest thought of selling your home, it's time to call Sean Poston with the Poston Results Team at Keller Williams, Southern Arizona. Why choose the Poston Results Team? Past performance, more money in your pocket, over a 65% referral rate, an incredible Poston Results Team staff, and most important, communication, because you and your home matter. The Poston Results Team. When buying and selling really mattered, go to TucsonHomeValues.com. That's TucsonHomeValues with an S.com.
Does it feel like the price of everything is going up, up, up? We can't control the price of gas or groceries, but at Royal Kia, we never add market adjustments, even while other dealers add fees because inventory is limited. At Royal Kia, you can rest assured you won't pay market adjustments, and we stand by our transparent online pricing. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $529 doc fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus or royalkia.com.
At Standard Restaurant Supply, their vision and #1 goal is to improve the lives of their customers and clients by providing a better culinary experience. Standard Restaurant Supply, if it's in a restaurant and not food, they have it. Open to the public, no membership fees, and they offer bulk store pricing without the bulk store purchase. Open Monday through Saturday at 601 South Cherry Avenue or call 885-2345. Standard Restaurant Supply is a proud sponsor of the U of A Radio Sports broadcast.
Tired of dry, itchy skin? Have mineral buildup at every faucet. Ram Plumbing's affordable, green, eco-friendly water softener and alkalized purification systems are built right here in our great state of Arizona and use a fraction of the wastewater as their competitors. Want soft water, non-chlorinated, or the best alkalized drinking water? You can trust Ram Plumbing to be your one-stop shop. Ask about their Water Taste Challenge. 40th year anniversary savings, up to $500 off water systems and $40 off any service. If your plumbing's in trouble, call Ram on the double.
Here's an important message from University Termite and Pest Control. The weather is getting cooler here, and so rodents will be seeking alternative housing. Do you need a professional? Call University Termite and Pest Control, 886-4146. They've been serving Tucson since 1974. You can be assured University Termite and Pest Control will keep you pest-free using the most responsible products and application methods. 28 school districts, 3 hospitals, 2 colleges, 1 university, and thousands of homeowners trust University Termite and Pest Control. You can too. Call University Termite and Pest Control today at 886-4146 or go to bepestfree.com.
Hey, Eugene, what's with the giant pile of scratcher tickets?
With these scratchers, I'll win enough dough to enroll in the UberTube car repair classes and finally know how to fix your car right.
Well, then keep on scratching, Eugene.
Good luck on that, guys. But if you need a sure thing in automotive repair or for your next set of tires, check out Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. And this month, pay with your Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care card and get $66 back.
And check out our full page of promotions and discounts at jackfurriers.com.
Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care since 1960, here to to get you there.
The 1997 national champions, your Arizona Wildcats.
The future is bright, but the present is now.
Cats on the run. They've got numbers. Larson, jam it home. Bounce inside. Ballo turns, lay it up. Good, and he's fouled. Boswell on the run. 2-on-1, 3-on-1 to Larson, and Pella slams it home.
Let it rip. I mean, that's our theme. We're going to go there. We're not going to be conservative, and we're going to go for it.
Bounce right corner. Boswell for three. It's good. Ivy right, shovel it for Basar, who slams it home.
Arizona basketball is on the air. This is the Hughes Federal Credit Union Countdown to Tip-Off. Hughes Federal Credit Union, proud sponsor of Arizona Athletics. Analysis, commentary, and conversations with players and head coach Tommy Lloyd are all ahead. Now let's go live courtside with the voice of the Wildcats, Brian Jeffries.
Home for 7 of the next 11 games, the Wildcats welcome the USC Trojans to McHale Center. It's always a big weekend when the LA schools come to town.